love my Teo. She's in my free company in Final Fantasy 14. She is free company mama. She's from Georgia.
Cool. Yeah.
Got an awesome accent. Especially when she gets sleepy, gets all breathy and shit, and I'm just like, Teo, stop. Like, you need to stop.
You get the vapors.
For real, you know. No, scratch that. Don't stop.
Never mind.
Yeah, she streams too. She streams a lot. I don't know what she was playing most recently. Kingdoms of Amalur. Really?
Yeah, didn't they just re-release that?
Mm-hmm. It's literally called re-release.
That's fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, guys.
Right. Sending out invitations to people and hear all the reasons why they can't click it. And look, Elise and I are both being catfished by the same bot. You know, it's funny, she got a message from a random bot, you know, like, oh, you know, I think we met on some dating app and you know, but I think maybe I have the wrong number or something. No, she was like, oh, hey, you know, let's get coffee. And then Elise responded like, no, you have the wrong number. And then she was like, ha 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 ha, I can be so dumb. Well, who are you? How are you? Whatever, sends a picture. About a week later, I get a message like, what's up? What's up? Are you Amos? It's Tatum. We spoke on tag before I went down to see my cousin. And I started laughing because I was like, I showed her the message. I was like, because of the way that they write. You know, well, I'll just show you. And I was like, I think you have the wrong number. She's like, oh, did I accidentally text some random guy? Oh, no, my mistake. I can be stupid sometimes. And then she sent the exact same picture that she sent to Elise, that they sent, that the bot sent. You know, and I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, oh, shit, I know you. Aren't you wanted for selling crystal meth in Dothan? And then she went quiet for a long time. Then she came back, thanks for not being mad. I suppose not all men are douches that give out fake digits. Hee hee hee. Want to talk? What's your name? I'm like...
That's the counter to that,
right? You know, next time just say yes. You know?
Yeah, that's me.
That's me, right? For real. Oh my god. Oh, putting the schedule out early. Where did he say he was going?
To relieve himself.
Oh, I thought he said I'm going to get the camera. That's what it sounded like.
I think he said hit the can.
Oh, okay. So I was like, what camera you got there, Scoot? Little big Scoot. Alright, who they putting with me? Okay. So be that.
Oh shit.
What I?
So how do I change the topics.
Right.
Oh.
Can you? I mean, you should be able to do that right now, right? You can't right click it.
Well, it's,
edit that
it's
thing.
a different one.
Hmm.
Oh, damn it. No, I don't want to. I don't like these icons. I don't know what any of them do.
What did Akon ever do to you?
Akon!
See, who is it? It's gonna be Fat Joe versus Ja Rule for the next verses.
What is this?
I think about you. Or is that DMX? I think that's DMX. So no, I get them confused because Ja Rule kind of has the same thing going.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was Ja Rule. That's Ja Rule. I think about you.
A little peek behind the curtains before we go live.
Ja Rule sounds like an orc.
True.
Ooh, baby!
Oh no, that's what a wonderful world.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Jaws got some hits though.
Doing Green Knight first.
Yeah. Good enough.
And then, what are we talking about?
Multiplayer games?
Multiplays.
Sorry, guys. I don't even know how to edit this without it showing it. So.
Yeah. It's fine.
Oh no. It's fine.
Yeah, that works.
Well, we
I guess we're starting the local record. 1, 2, 3. Alright.
Hello.
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 Hope you guys enjoyed that behind the scenes action there.
We're always behind the scenes.
We're always behind the scenes here. Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Scott.
I'm Trae.
I'm Phil. And look at that wiggly bitrate line.
Oh, it's a little jiggly. Commence to wiggling.
Commence the wiggle.
I don't even know why I have these night vision goggles. How's it going, everybody?
This week we're going to attempt to actually talk about multiplayer games, something that we tried to do one week, but you know, God decided that wasn't going to be the case.
Shit, that was Storm. What do
That
you
was
mean?
Storm. That was Storm.
Yeah, for
There you
real.
go.
Flexing on us.
Oh boy, that sure was a Green Knight.
Bravely bold Sir Gawain rode forth from Camelot.
Sir, not appearing in this picture.
So I found out that the Green Knight is in
Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Yeah. I looked it up and it said it's what's his name? Terry Gilliam. Or not Terry Gilliam. Man, what's his name?
The other Terry? Is there
Terry
another?
Jones? No, it is Terry Gilliam. Yeah. I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's Terry Gilliam. So you know the same dude that's like the coconuts and
of course.
and the what?
But where was he?
Right,
in the
and that's the
film?
thing. I was like, did I fucking miss something?
Well, he might have been the three-headed knight.
He's one of that too. That's not the Green Knight. No,
right,
that's not the Green Knight.
Who is that knight?
The Green Knight, okay, is fighting the Black Knight before Arthur does. So you know how Arthur walks up on him getting his ass kicked?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then the Green Knight walks off.
Yeah,
that was the Green Knight.
Because
that was it.
Doesn't he like throw his sword
into
his
into
the
bracelet?
Yeah.
And then he comes up and he's like pulls it out like a can. It sounds like
and stands there. Waits for the next challenger.
Yeah.
Totally. Remember I was telling you about how like at some point during the production of Holy Grail they were fucking around with fog, like during one of John Cleese's scenes, and they just kept messing with the fog trying to get it just right, and John Cleese just walks up because it's like taking forever. He's just like, "Is the fog funny? Like, let's just get this shit over with."
I imagine him being as matter of fact as possible.
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
Is the fog funny?
This is a dead parrot. If it had not been nailed to the post, it'd have been pushing up daisies.
Man, that's my favorite thing about Rat Race is him.
Oh yeah,
and his big fake ass teeth.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, John Cleese is so good, man.
Well, that and Mr. Bean, but
yeah,
I mean, Mr. Bean's golden.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, what have you guys been doing this week? What you been doing?
I've been playing a lot of Monsty Hunters.
The Monsties.
Yeah. Right. Like stories too, and rewatching K-On! Again.
How far along are you in Monster Hunter 2?
I'm still pretty early on.
Oh yeah.
Like I've literally all I've been doing is like going around and like grinding up items and money just so I can make my character look cute.
Oh,
like that's literally the only
reason
I'm playing.
you haven't been looking at stats. You've just been choosing armor that looks cute.
That just looks cute on my on my little anime girl. I'm just
so
like, maybe
why
I
did you not like Final Fantasy 14? That is literally the end game.
It's others. That's why.
Others, literally. Yeah. I had social anxiety online.
I still think it's funny. You were like, I didn't want to stand too close in the crowd. I wanted to move out of people's way.
Yeah.
Because I don't have that kind of feeling. I walk right through motherfuckers. I don't care. I stand right on top of the counter talking to somebody.
Right. I'd be sitting there trying to get a quest, and I'd see like this line of people, or this crowd of people. I was like, oh, I need to hurry up. I'm in everybody's way.
Yeah, nobody else does that. People just go AFK. They'll start talking to the guy and then just leave.
Yeah,
leave their computer.
Spelio followed us. That's my buddy Adam.
Welcome.
Hey, welcome. Oh yeah, we got a couple of new followers. Welcome, guys. Thank you.
Hopefully
thank you for following.
The thing worked. Hopefully you saw a zombie, because we should have a zombie that pops up in the middle that says you followed.
We saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah,
we saw it for the other one.
When Teo joined.
Yeah. So maybe it works. I think it works. I don't know.
It worked then. Maybe.
Thank you guys for following.
I guess we need another follower.
We need
test this out.
Many followers.
Tell
Share
a
us
friend
with the people.
Please do.
Yeah. So, anyways, what have you guys been doing?
I mean Hades, but I bought this game called Hellsplit Arena. Were you watching any of that stream?
No, I
saw the beginning.
I started looking at your stream and everything was moving fine, but you were just in menus and you just stayed there forever.
Yeah,
and then you stopped the stream.
My
and I was
headset
like, wow, that game is dope.
Yeah,
you know, like
I started another one directly after that. It's just
like
video game menu simulator.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I mean, you got to see my bone hands, didn't you?
No.
Oh,
nope.
I had bone hands in the menu. You
really?
didn't see them.
Okay, I didn't see that at all.
Well, it's fine. It's the problem I was having is that I'm using the Quest 2 in virtual desktop to then play games without a cable, right? And so there's a latency issue there, and sometimes depending on what other processes you have, that latency will just spike. And I was trying to get it to work right where I could stream it without it having because I mean it's got to send the video and receive the video for my Quest 2 at the same time as it encoding and sending it to the internet if I'm streaming.
Right.
And when I initially set it up, something fucked up and I was having so much latency that I'd move my head and I could see that on the monitor itself it was registering my movements.
Right.
But in the headset it was completely just.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and so I had to reset everything like 2-3 times. Once I got it working, though, it seemed to do fine. I checked out the stream. It's kind of cool. I mean, like being able to just do that's kind of cool. Right. The game, though, is pretty awesome. It could be better. It's still in early access, I think. If it's not in early access, it's still like fairly early on, and they're continuing to work on it, Yeah. But it's kind of like Blade and Sorcery. It just looks way better. And it's monsters instead of it being people.
Yeah.
Right.
A dumbass fire skeleton. He was showing me a little bit of it. Apparently he got to a boss and it's just a skeleton that catches itself on fire and you can't get close to it to hit it
because you start burning?
Because you just start burning.
Right.
It was some bullshit.
He was on the ground and I was wailing on him and the whole time just burning me.
Right.
Yeah. It was bullshit.
But isn't that the whole point of Hellsplit is like it's supposed to be like very, very difficult for a VR title?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like it's ramping up. I'm just at the beginning. There is a campaign. There is a arena mode. I think I prefer the arena mode so far.
Right.
But the campaign has a bunch of upgrades, so it looks like you have to play the campaign to get all the weapons.
The character has some
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Boy's like, I just want to swing swords.
That's
God damn it, don't make me do stuff.
No,
I ain't trying to do stuff in games.
Things.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're making me read,
for real.
I got books. Okay,
fold out.
No,
how
not
dare
that
you
one.
have an intro to your game? game. You know, I know how to play games.
There are times where I'm not feeling the intros, man. Sometimes games will really get me, but man, most of the time I'm just going, all right now.
I think your intro is just like with a movie, right? It's like, your first 15 minutes is your opportunity to convince me that I want to spend time.
You gotta sell it.
Yep. You gotta sell it.
Yeah,
so that's the deal. Because I've been doing the same thing, playing Hades, too much Hades.
Yeah.
So much Hades that it's just a part of my soul. It's part of my life. Part of my being.
Every time you sit down, you just go, okay, and your hands automatically make Hades happen, and then you go, oh, I guess I'm doing this, and then an hour goes by, and you're like, oh.
Well, I don't know.
I really should.
I'm just super happy, man. I'm just always. It makes me so happy to play.
Yeah.
Like last night, I was
You're
doing
always
that
accomplishing
magnetic
something.
Yeah, I was doing that magnetic gloves meme run.
Oh boy!
And that ended with just an easy clear. I just ran straight through, beat the fuck out of Hades, and it was great. But outside of that, I started playing No Man's Sky VR last night.
Oh yeah,
with the PS5.
By the way, how's it?
Update. Magnificent.
Yeah.
Magnificent.
Cool. Okay.
I couldn't believe it. Like the second I touched down, I actually on my planet, this it's much nicer. My last planet was a frozen wasteland.
I remember.
And so it would get awful there. This planet was actually very lush, very green. It was beautiful.
Oh, cool.
Now there's a slight radiation issue. So every now and then there's rad storms, and it's non too pleasant.
Yeah.
But of course, with a little bit of carbon, a little bit of oxygen, some sodium, you can keep the rads at bay. So
there you go.
It works out. But from a visual perspective, it is drop dead gorgeous. They nailed it. There's still pop in every once in a while, with like little environmental effects, some plants, things like that. But whenever it goes to night, there are all these plants with like phosphorescence, and they're all glowing all around you.
Yeah,
like, it's absolutely beautiful.
How's that?
It's so good.
How's that resolution looking?
Oh, I mean, she's looking tight. It's looking
Does it look
tight.
as good as like Farpoint?
I would say in some ways it looks better than Farpoint.
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
they fixed it. They fixed it.
It's comparable to the flat version now.
It's comparable to, yes. Well, I won't say that because the flat version looks just insane.
It does. It looks really good.
It's too good. So it's not that,
Yeah.
but it looks like one of the best looking PSVR titles on the market, hands down.
Wow.
Sweet.
Yeah, and so due to that, it makes the fact that you have to run around collecting shit constantly a little bit more bearable for me, because you still get that. Now you get that sense of awe and that sense of wonder
Instead of being like, I mean, it kind of looks like those clouds look good.
Yeah, right. It's like, if I squint,
that's
a little bit kind of good. Yeah, right.
The old one had the Vaseline-y look.
Exactly, exactly. Everything was like, it's like an oil painting, And so I mean,
this is impressionist.
Right, exactly.
Very abstract.
So the whole thing's just about
use your imagination.
Right. And so it becomes just about the scope, It's
Right.
like as long as you keep that in mind, how big this world is, and you can drill through the ground and get to water or whatever, then that's impressive. But now the visuals actually match up. And I'm over here like I was gonna just play it and then delete it. And pardon me for the peas. I was gonna play it and then pop. Why are you so poppy today?
Don't splurge your plosives.
I was gonna play it and then delete it, but now I feel like I might actually try to get to some of these social hubs that they've added to the game. Because
we were
Frontiers
at one
just
of the
came out,
one of the space stations forever ago.
Yes.
And that was kind of cool. We
That
saw
was-
other people.
Yeah.
That was a thing. You know?
And so I'm gonna actually get through and find, because there are a lot of different combat scenarios that they put in the game as well.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a dedicated multiplayer mode. So I guess whenever you get your thing working, maybe we could try
I don't
it.
know if it's going to work right on the PC. Like trying to play it with Game Pass and Steam VR doesn't seem to be working.
I wonder if you can
at all.
find a used copy at a GameStop for really cheap.
Well, right now it's on sale on
It's $30 though.
23.
Is it 23? I thought it was $29.99.
Oh, well, they bumped the price all the way up to 60 again.
But it's on a sale for half off right now. So
Oh,
that's why I thought it was
I thought it was 23. Yeah, 30 is a
I
little.
mean, maybe
much.
you're right. Yeah, because I was looking at it last night. And I was like, I wonder if I can convince him to buy it.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the price. I'm like, nope.
It might go on sale here soon.
Well, it's on sale.
It's
half off. It's currently on sale for half
that
off.
That does make me wonder. I wonder how much it's going for on Amazon.
Yeah,
anyways.
I'm sure you could find a physical copy for fairly inexpensive. But the problem was, and that's the reason why we bought the game before they released the VR patch, is because we knew that the price was going to skyrocket.
I should have held on to that, man.
I
don't
really
know
can't
why
believe
I
that you
didn't.
didn't.
Yeah. I really think it had to have been some kind of, I was getting
Promotion.
something. Yeah, and it was just an amount of games you had to trade in. So I was like, fuck it, I don't play this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know I traded in a couple others that were on the PlayStation Plus list.
Yeah.
That you get with PS5.
Right.
But, which, by the way, okay, I just have to make a little PSA here. For anybody that's got PlayStation Plus but doesn't have a PS5, use the mobile
phone.
app
and
add every month any of the PS5 games, because you will have them in your library, and then once you get a PS5, you'll already have these games.
Absolutely.
But you're missing out on them if you just, pass them by.
Exactly.
And you can't add them on the PS4 to your library because they don't populate.
They won't show up.
Yeah. So, little trick.
Use your phone.
Exactly. Use the app. The mobile app is really, really good too. If you want to share screenshots,
it's
with
so
your friends,
much better than it used to be.
So much better,
dude.
Absolutely.
It used to be like 10 fucking apps.
Yeah.
It was an app for every individual thing, and they didn't cross communicate well, and it would always sign you out every time.
And it's really nice that you can even if you're at work and you're like, oh, there's this game that I want. Oh my god, okay, it just came out. I'm going to set it to download, and then your PS5 will remotely download that shit at your house.
Yeah.
So when you get home, it's just ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Really, really cool.
Love it. Yeah, you can do that with the Oculus app, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wish they'd let you do that with Steam. I don't think they do, but they let you do it with the Oculus. So.
Yeah, they should at this point.
So...
what do you think of this?
Yeah, we didn't do that. And now we've got a lot of news to get through. So
news jutsu. News. Look,
you got it.
Not the olds.
Not the olds. It's the news.
So this is something pretty awesome. TGS is happening, Tokyo Game Show, and this year they've decided that they're going to do a virtual event. And so, I mean, they're doing a physical event still. I think it's going to be scaled back significantly.
Are they going to? They're actually going to do it?
I'm pretty sure that they're doing
Tokyo.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, but it's I'm pretty sure it's a very scaled back event.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going on, right?
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that, but I know for a fact that they're doing this TGS VR experience, and there's a myriad of ways to experience it. Of course, it's not on PlayStation VR for some goddamn reason. But you're basically going to be able to play a game that is a model of the TGS floor, and you're able to experience kind of the thing as though you're there.
Yeah, that's smart.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Super smart.
I would like all conventions to move in this direction.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if, like you were saying, it was an instanced population where you'd be able to maybe have a small group of friends or be part of a larger group of people all experiencing this at once.
Yeah,
it would make it feel more like if you took VR chat and mixed it with this idea.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You could go and like sit and watch panels together. You can go. And, honestly, the coolest aspect and the best way to get people on board is going to that merch table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Actually having a real market where you could actually purchase things and have them even delivered
shipped to you. Dude.
Absolutely.
That would be,
you know what I'm saying?
That would be
as far
absolutely ideal right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd
go
buy
and like
t-shirts in VR.
T-shirts, figures, like action figures and stuff, statues, being able to actually manipulate them in a 3D space.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like for real, do you look at it like, okay, I want this this Vegeta statue. You go check out, and next thing you know, the motherfucker is being shipped to you.
Oh my god.
You know, like I mean that's an untapped market right there.
So do you think we're gonna get to some point? This brings some like Fifth Element level of sci-fi going on, but like where we'll have a virtual event, and then we'll have a 3D printer, and then you purchase a thing, and then it synthesizes the object that you purchased. You know what I mean?
That'd be pretty amazing. I mean, I think we're far off from that because everybody would have to have a 3D printer.
Yeah, absolutely. 3D printing would have to become like just as
mainstay.
It would be like just having a computer nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like it's
refrigerator, washing machine, shit like that. Everybody's got a toaster.
An appliance. Right, exactly.
Everybody will have one when they can synthesize food. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's when it'll be like this is a necessity now. Yeah. Wait, I don't have to go to the store. I can just create a chicken sandwich. Right. It's great. I don't have to fight motherfuckers in a line for this chicken sandwich.
Do you have to fight for chicken sandwiches?
I was about to ask you that question. Like, okay,
Popeyes chicken
that
sandwiches.
was a thing, dude. I remember. Look, hey man, look. Real talk. I went to Popeyes and got Popeyes chicken sandwiches. I did the thing, man, because I wanted to see. I'm like, okay, firstly I want to see if these lines are real. Then I went to the one on Green Springs, or actually it's on Valley. And and there was a line of cars all the way down the block. So I parked across the street and just walked in. And I walked in, I placed my order. I ordered like 6 of them, right? Because I'm just like, why not, right? Maybe they're really that phenomenal. I ordered 6 of those sandwiches and a bag full of other food. I'm sitting there waiting. And all these people are in there, and they're all waiting. And it was fine. Everybody was all friendly, like, okay, come on, you go get your chicken sandwiches. Until one lady said, okay, well, we only have 15 more left.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And I heard her.
Words.
I heard her. They were talking to each other, but I heard her. I was like, okay, well, you got mine, right? And she's like, yeah, you were one of the last ones we got. And I was just like, oh, shit. All of a sudden, man, the tension in the room started raising. I mean, it was palpable, bro.
Who's getting their sandwich?
And I'm just like, boy, if I'm not getting robbed of chicken sandwiches tonight, you know? And so I did, man. And she ended up accidentally, like, skipping over my number somehow. And so I'm like, no. You need to go back and get my order. And she was like, okay, I got you. And so, but that took 6 more out of the 15 that they had remaining. And so, like, I got mine, dude. I swear, dude. I walked out of there and people were like staring at me, like me mugging. You know what I'm saying? For real, man. I walked out with a big ass bag of food, dude.
And they knew it had so many sandwiches.
Sandwiches were in there somewhere, you know. Dude, it's the weirdest thing. I'm like, man, I can't believe it. Y'all are really ready to fight tooth and nail.
People are passionate about their chicken sandwiches. Apparently,
I love a good chicken sandwich.
So again,
I don't know if I'll shank somebody
chicken
for it.
Sandwich printer. back to what I'm saying.
You know, I really do hope that they do more events in virtual reality. Because it would be another way to offer. I think that when you stick to gaming for VR, it can kind of isolate some people. It can kind of deter some people from wanting to try the medium for whatever their reasons are. But when you start adding things like, okay, well, you can go to Dragon Con. You know, all of a sudden it's like, oh shit. It's like, okay, you can go to Bonnaroo. You can go to a music festival. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, all these people, these non-gamers, would also be very, very interested in this piece of technology that can help them enjoy a social space without having to actually be in that social space.
Hell yeah.
You know?
VR doesn't have to be tied to gaming.
It doesn't.
It can be so much more than that, you know?
I think gaming is a good test market because, I mean, that's how you work out all the logistics, right?
Well, I mean, have you seen some of the surgery robotics that they have nowadays? You know, if you have that and then you have somebody with a headset, then they can do remote fucking surgery.
Absolutely.
Like, that's insane shit.
Right.
Like, this one dude knows how to do this knee surgery in, you know, like Taiwan or something, and it's like, well, he can help people across the entire world because of technology.
Exactly.
Bringing people together with VR. That's what it is.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
So this is an event that is not going to have a VR showcase, but it'd be really cool. But it's probably just going to be about 45 minutes of videos like we usually get. They're doing a PlayStation showcase next week.
Yeah, because fans have been complaining.
Where's our PlayStation news?
Seriously,
why don't I have Gods of Wars now?
As if we haven't had PlayStation news all year long. They've done so many states of play. Yeah, you know, like just back to back to back. I mean, if you happen to click on a little known app called YouTube, you know, there are new Sony videos like every day.
Oh yeah.
Every day. But people, it's all about God of War, Horizon. Yeah. All about those first party titles that everybody wants to see. It's like they want Sony just to blow their load now. Yeah. It's like we want all the biggest titles in 2021, and then what? You know what I'm saying? People are just going to digest that content, even if it did come out this year. You would play the game, you play it, you know, hardcore for like 15, 20 hours, then you'd be like, what's next? Yeah. You know, and it's just like, oh, well, guys.
Yeah, I mean, especially over the lockdowns and stuff, the way that people have been just devouring content.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing it too.
Yeah,
you know,
of course. Developers can't keep up with that, dude. I mean, what are you supposed to do? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. But nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear, okay, well, I know you just put out new DLC, but I already got everything from it, so I'm going to need something else, or else y'all suck, and we're going to cancel your game.
I mean, it's the same thing with, like, shows now. Netflix or whatever releases a series, and, well, they watched it all that night. I watched every bit of it.
I mean,
we need a new season.
I mean, that's what I do anytime Netflix puts out something that I'm interested in.
New Stranger Things.
I just marathon it. I just marathon it. I can get through, like, shit, I do that with my anime all the fucking time. Like, I can get through easily 10 episodes in an afternoon. Like, just back to back to back to back to back.
It's a double-edged sword, though. I mean, it is nice to be able to binge content, but it really does suck. It makes
once
the wait,
it ends, once there's no more to watch,
you're like, wait so much longer, right? Okay, all right. Case in point, the Haunting of Hill House. You know what I'm saying? Fantastic show. We binged it, watched the whole thing super quick, and it's over. So next year when they announce, the Haunting of Bly Manor, it feels like it's been so long since we got that thing. And so we're just so ready for this new thing that they're finally making. And then it sucks. And then it sucks.
That's just like
painful.
It's entertainment in general, man. You never know what's going to be good until you consume it.
No, in most cases, a series is just a series, right? It's like that's why you wait for that second season, because it's more of what you already liked.
Right.
What they did with Hunting of Hill House and Bly Manor, where they told a completely separate story.
Right.
That had nothing to do with
an American Horror Story style.
Kind of, right? Exactly, but it wasn't horror. The story, it had ghosts, but it wasn't really a horror story per se. It was all based on A Turn of the Screw. And so it was really more like a psychological love story, thriller-esque, but when you've been waiting for horror, and then this is what you get, it's just like, oh shit, that wait seems so much longer because you digested that first bit of content at such a rapid rate. Unlike something like The Boys, where it's like you get one episode a week.
I like that. I kind of like that.
I like that format
because I either want to watch it like that, or I want to wait until the entire thing is over and watch everything.
See, that's more my thing.
But by that point, that wait doesn't seem so long, because once again you're at the end of that whole season block.
Like I waited so long to catch up. I mean, I watched the beginning of Game of Thrones. I watched this first season, and then I waited until season 5 or 6 before I even started watching.
That? That's amazing.
I just was like, I'll wait.
Oh
I'll
man,
wait.
you are a creature of fortitude,
dude. And everybody around me kept watching it too, and I had to keep ignoring people, and I had to keep being like,
dude, I couldn't do it, man.
I still haven't seen the last season.
I mean, I really think.
I know.
You could borrow
what happens.
And
I'm like,
it's worth watching.
I think it is. I mean, we're eventually going to have to do an episode on Game of Thrones.
Eventually, yeah.
Let me read 2 more books, guys. Just hold on. Oh man.
So So what's with this?
Do you guys know about this water heritage?
I have heard about it. It's
I mean, I'm not gonna get into it crazy because it's just.
So is the issue here are we talking about the existence, or are we talking about the dude who
the insider trading going on?
Yeah,
that's really the problem, because I don't have a problem with video games selling for a bunch, or the idea that these collector's item video games could potentially be worth crazy amounts of money.
Even though they did really capitalize on the lockdowns.
Yeah, they did, and people being like,
all of a sudden, Super Mario Brothers is worth like
Sega Saturn.
$2 million.
It's
like, what?
Yeah,
He's gonna pay $2 million for Super Mario Brothers.
$2 million. It was
somebody.
It was sealed. It was brand new.
Yeah. $2 million.
People paying.
But basically, it's just somebody like just artificially
stimulating the market.
Because they're artificially stimulating the market.
Absolutely.
Right.
This isn't
none of this
natural,
happened. None of this happened organically, which is the problem.
And
it's not that the game prices are so high; it's that this did not come from.
He's benefiting off of his own platform, and that's not what you're supposed to do.
You're not supposed to be able to sell or get your games rated. Exactly, if you're part of the group. But certain individuals are doing exactly that. They're getting their collection graded,
and they have the highest ratings for their stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, they can rig that, and then I have this game that might only be like an 8.5 for real, but I got it at a 9.6.
Let's just round it up.
Exactly.
Yeah, and now it's worth fucking $30,000 more.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and the same thing apparently happened in the 90s with the coin boom, and some of these people that are in this have to do with that, like the heritage auctions. people.
Really?
Yeah, they had to do with the coin boom situation too. So this isn't the first time that this shit's happened. You know?
Funny.
And
I'm a hustler, baby.
yeah,
Yes,
really,
right.
yeah. I'm super man. Man, it's I just I think it's cool that video games are getting this value to them, but this is going to ruin it, and this is going to make people not trust it, because we're too plugged into the news as video game culture is to let this just slip under the rug. Everybody's going to go, oh well, fuck this. Plus, most real collectors don't buy sealed games.
Yeah,
you don't buy sealed games. Investors buy sealed games.
Right.
People that are
Absolutely,
trying to make money buy sealed games. We want it on the cheap.
Yeah.
We want to find the one that's like, well, I know it's got a sticker on there, but it's only $5.
But we also know that you can just go to a yard sale.
Right.
It doesn't happen as often anymore.
Exactly.
But
Not really.
you can still find that golden spot.
I don't know.
You know
Flea
what I
markets
mean?
are still pretty good for
Flea markets.
Some,
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
older games and stuff like that.
Consignment stores, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, man, you can find them. So we've talked about this before, that there's this Saints and Sinners Aftershock, but
Absolutely.
it's got a date now. It's like the 23rd.
23rd of this month. And so let's go.
It's going to add story to it.
Yeah, so it's going to add post-game story. They said about 5 or 6 hours
That's
worth of
pretty
story
amazing.
content. You
Yeah.
know, for DLC, the game's already, 10 to 15 hours long as it is.
So it's another half
expanding
again
that,
as long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the most exciting part is that they were like, what's the name of that studio?
Something dance, fire dance,
Skydance.
Skydance.
Thank
Fire
you.
dance.
Fire dance.
That works, man. Fires in the sky.
I'm good.
That's right.
But they're like, this is not the last bit of DLC. So just know that
Yeah.
there's more coming.
We're gonna get that
That's-
multiplayer DLC.
It's gonna happen
I know
eventually.
we are.
I know we are.
What if we
I
get
know it.
multiplayer DLC?
Please, just give me multiplayer and trials.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I want.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe if they gave you another couple of levels that were specifically made for a multiplayer trials,
Right.
even, but
Yeah.
but the current ones would work just fine.
It would be really cool to be able to like go through a storyline with a
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun. Especially be like, oh yeah, you're over there trading with some dude who's like, hey man, I need some medicine, and then your friend's like, no, don't trust that motherfucker.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah, for real.
Bah.
Bam.
Whoa!
And now you gotta
we
deal
were
with the
doing
consequences.
business
Yeah,
here. Let me deal with the junkie, okay? You fuck off.
I remember that, man. That happened the first time I played the game. I was just
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought this is what I'm supposed to do. I had some meds, and then he comes up. He's just like, yeah, man, I need some meds for my wife. And
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
you know what, man? I'm gonna be a good Samaritan my first playthrough.
He mugged you,
Gave
didn't
it
he?
to him. No, I gave it to
Oh.
him, and he ran off. And I was like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
I never found any more meds, and I didn't realize that I ended up getting. I got sick. And so I would hear coughing all the time because my character was sick, even though I would actually like heal myself and stuff.
Right,
yeah.
I didn't understand there was a whole mechanic around like keeping yourself actually healthy. And so I'm just like, man, I needed that. And then the way that it works is like when you're sick, it takes a chunk of your maximum health.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so as you take more damage, you can heal to a lower cap.
Right.
So I was at a point where zombies were killing me in 1 or 2 hits.
Yeah.
And I had to get through a huge chunk of the game like that.
Without medicine.
Without medicine, because I never found any more.
No.
So I'm like, never again, man. Y'all are on your own.
That's
I
right.
don't care. Struggle.
Dog
How about
eat
that?
dog.
Did you
Yeah,
ever have
man,
somebody?
Yeah.
Did you ever have somebody try to hold you up? Yeah, I've had
wish
that
they
happen
would.
before, where I came around a corner and they're like, "Come on, give me what you got," and I'm like, "Fuck
I
you."
wish you would. I wish you would.
I'd
Hey,
give you this bat.
for real, absolutely, sir.
I had a guy start
There
to
you
mug me, and it was the second time that I got mugged. Right, so he starts giving his spiel, and before he even got it out, I'd already shot him in the face.
Hey, did you see the claw?
Oh
that you
yeah,
get
dude.
now?
Oh
yeah.
God.
Yeah. They've got like fist-mounted claws for the
Yeah.
aftershock, so that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Going Wolverine on some
It's good
Zambos.
Yeah, dude, this Ionia,
That looks pretty.
it looks very
Oh,
pretty.
that looks very pretty, yes.
And it's a music puzzler.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
VR.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. We don't know a whole lot about it other than that.
Well, it
Yeah,
looks
they
like
just put out
from
a
the
teaser.
thing
Yeah.
you just like conduct
Yeah,
at monsters or whatever.
one of them there was totally
Who
some
knows,
like
man.
marimbas going
Oh, yeah.
on. You know, there was like a
That's really what made me the most excited. I
Yeah.
don't
yeah.
think-
Because
ever
what's
since
that
playing-
game that you're always
Play
playing?
them bones. Are you talking about? Wait, what are you talking about?
There's some like music game that you're constant, like Electronauts. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what it
yeah.
reminded me of. Yeah.
Yeah,
A little bit,
it made
to
me
some
think
degree.
of what's the name of that game with Scooter's
Oh,
reading the porn.
Jesus. Oh, man.
Accounting Plus.
Yeah.
you know
dude.
where
Oh,
you
play
get to
those
a-
bones.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the xylophone, the
Yeah.
the
And they
living
love it.
xylophone. Yeah, every time
I'm
you
still
play
fucked
them,
up
like
from that
play them
experience.
bones.
Yeah, they kept calling him Scooter.
I couldn't play it after that.
Yeah.
Like I had to take the headset off. I was freaking out.
Fuck this.
For real, that would be odd if
I
you're
was
playing
in
a
an-
game and all of a sudden
I
they start
starts
calling you by
calling
name.
you
Well, I
name.
was
Yeah.
also
Uh-huh.
in an altered state of mind.
Yeah. It was too much
And
at
it
the time. Compounding problems. Oh, look, Scooter's got the adult magazine. And you were like, fuck this.
Nope.
Can't do it.
Especially when they're bleeding out in the truck.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just getting shot in the
Oh, my
face.
God, Scooter.
Shoot back at those motherfuckers, Scooter. You know?
That shit. That game, man.
That game's too funny.
Fuck you, don't touch my fucking
It's
tree.
my fucking tree.
It's my
That's
tree.
my woods. My
Fuck you,
forest.
get
Fuck
out of
you.
here.
It's not your seed. That's my seed. If you like Justin Roiland, then you should definitely enjoy some Accounting Plus.
Yeah.
Accounting Plus
Yeah,
is great.
and Trover.
Definitely.
God damn, I
Definitely.
think Trover's way better. But
Well, there's different.
But yeah, they're just different. They're very different. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Accounting Plus is mostly an experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I would definitely say play Accounting Plus. It takes way less time than Trover.
Yeah.
And it has more wow factor. Trover is an actual game.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah. So if you want to play through something, it's only like a few hours long. I think like maybe 3-4 hours.
Accounting?
Trover.
Oh, I was
Accounting
about to
Plus,
say,
you can
accounting
clear-
is
you can
real
clear that in
quick.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
if you know what you're
It
doing.
really
Uh-huh.
does. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah, if
take
you know
that
what
long.
you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you know what
exactly.
you're doing.
I don't think I ever got the bonus ending thing because there's like the door with the guy that. Yeah, I don't think I ever got that.
What with the coins and everything?
Yeah, because I know I did some of it, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. You just go back and do it.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining, you know. And then they started teasing like a secret sheep level, kind of like from Diablo.
The cow level.
The cow
yeah.
level, yeah. And
Moo.
yeah, right. And of course, it never
Moo.
actually existed. Like they were actually going to patch it into the game at one point.
Yeah.
But they just didn't do it.
Like,
So,
whatever.
Yeah, for real. And people still look for it. You
We
know,
don't
I did.
care.
I looked
hell
for it
yeah.
super hard.
Yeah.
You know, so cool.
Aztec looks kind of cool.
It looks cool.
It does
Yeah.
look cool.
She's got a big fist,
Big fist.
Yeah.
and she's punching everything,
Yep.
and it looks real fun.
Looks fun.
Yeah.
That's again. It's another one that's just a teaser. I know that it's something of the gods. It's Aztec. Something of
I
the
don't
gods.
remember the.
There's a subtext there. Don't know
Big
what it
fist
is.
of the gods.
Big
Probably.
fist.
That's
of
what
the
it should be.
gods. Fist the gods. That's it.
That's right.
That's
That's what you do.
It's called Aztec. Fuck me, Jesus.
Oh my. Suddenly that's shot to the top
that's
of
the
my
part-
must-have list.
That's the
Yeah.
part that I always think of from The Exorcist.
Oh yeah.
It's Forgotten Gods.
That's what I always think of. You know,
Really?
you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, of course you know what I'm talking
Yeah, the cross.
Yeah, that's the part that always comes to my mind because I find it so comical.
Oh.
Like it's so like out of the whole movie that is very grotesque and fucked up and is still one of the most terrifying films ever according to the world.
I mean,
like it's
yeah,
just
it
like
is.
as far as if you ask somebody, "Oh, what's the scariest movie?" Oh, definitely The Exorcist because everybody's scared to shit
It's
of that.
fucking
Right.
You don't
fucking
want
up there.
that. You know
No,
what I mean?
not at all.
Yeah.
Monsters,
It's bad.
whatever. When Meemaw goes crazy because the devil, that's bad. That's bad.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah. Oh. Watching a Christian broadcast.
Wow.
Oh man, that Binding of Isaac. It always comes back to the Binding of Isaac.
Always.
Yeah. So Bond, new Bond. Do we
Yeah.
care? Do you guys care about the new Bond?
I
mean,
really
I kind of
don't.
want to watch it, but I also kind of don't care.
I'm
You
kind
know
of
what I mean?
like I'm just ready for them to do.
I thought we were getting
I'm
a
ready
lady
for
Bond.
Daniel Craig.
Weren't we
to-
getting a lady Bond?
That was rumored. I don't think
Did that
any
not
of that was
happen?
ever official.
Oh, okay. See,
You
I thought we
know.
were getting an actual lady Bond.
I mean, I'd
for a
be
while
down
there,
with
they
it.
were saying
Why
Idris
not?
Elba as Bond, and I was like, yeah, he's British. He's got the right
What?
class
That
to
would
him.
be
I'm
amazing.
totally
That'd be
down
cool.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really good.
yeah. You know,
I think I'm just over Daniel Craig as Bond. I want him to move on and do other things.
He's so good at other things.
He's so good at other things.
He's a fucking great actor.
He just really seems checked. He's seemed very checked out the past few movies, and I think that's why.
Yeah. What's the movie Daniel Craig's in where they're trying?
We're talking about No Time to Die.
No Time to Die.
Yeah,
all the time to die.
So
much time to
die.
It's taken so much time.
Forever for this movie to come out.
What's the Daniel Craig movie where they're robbing the Kentucky Derby?
Logan Lucky.
I've never seen it.
That's
dude.
great. Oh, dude, it's so good.
Fuck,
very good, very good.
He's an explosives expert that's in jail that they have to break out of jail so that he can then break into the Kentucky Derby.
Okay,
you know, steal money,
dude. It's so fucking good.
It's really good.
He's just a dumbass redneck that blows shit up. That's all he is. And he's spot on, man. He's spot on. Or his
Knives Out.
Knives Out. He's
Knives
great.
Out.
That was a good
Have
movie.
you guys seen The Jacket?
I have not.
Ah, okay.
Need to watch that.
The Jacket's about an insane asylum. It's like Adrian Brody goes into like a dream state experience where he travels through time because of this. They like put him in a straitjacket, drug him up, and then throw him into a morgue drawer.
Oh, wow.
And make him like it's almost like a deprivation tank, and then make him go through these experiences, and he travels through time. But they're doing this to all the patients in the Jacket, and one of them is Daniel Craig, and he's fucking insane.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
That sounds like
The
torture
Jacket.
porn.
That's gonna have to be one of the movies we watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
And no, it's not torture porn. It's definitely not that.
Jesus, that sounds awful.
No, Chris Christopherson's one of the doctors.
That sounds so terrible.
Whistler comes up. God damn it, Blade! You fucking. God damn it. I fucking love. I love him so much. God damn, you haven't been taking your medicine, Blade.
I'm Whistler. I'm back from the dead.
Yep. Shoot this garlic in your neck.
Yeah. Goddamn.
It's fucking silver nitrate. God damn it. Anyway, sorry.
So, Curse to Golf. We were watching this.
Why is this so good looking?
This looks great.
That's gonna be amazing.
Curse to Golf. It's a roguelike
Metroidvania
golf game.
Yeah.
Yep. And so you actually have to golf to move yourself from point to point.
Yeah.
But you have to get over all these traps and hurdles, and it apparently has permadeath. Like, this is a brilliant idea.
Absolutely.
You know, 2D golf games were a lot of fun. Old school, like all the way up to, I'll say even Hot Shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, really.
Well,
shit.
No,
that
dude,
Neo Turf Masters
Golf
though,
Story.
Man.
Golf
Remember me
Story.
telling
Yeah,
you about that?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
is this a 2D golf story kind of?
Golf Story's
no.
different. Yeah, no, it is different.
Golf Story is way more RPG.
It is an RPG.
Yeah.
This
This
action
isn't.
game.
This
This
yeah.
is
This
more
is
of action.
Yeah.
So it's not like, side-scrolling Golf Story. I just made that connection because that was the last golf game I played.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, mechanically, golf is one of those games that everyone understands.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like, here's this ball, knock this ball from here to over there. And so, and golf games can be really, really fun just to play, just
just normal
mechanically.
golf. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's such a genius idea to put spike traps and monsters that want to kill you and eat you.
Yeah.
While your only form of movement is to play freaking golf. You have 3 clubs that you can use, and that's it.
Yep.
And you got to make it. So I want to know what the narrative is going to be like.
So what?
Absolutely.
You think you got like a putter, and then like a long range
Probably
driver,
and
then
what was the last?
the wedge, maybe,
Wedge.
so you can
Maybe.
pitch it.
Maybe so.
Right, that would make sense, right?
That would make sense.
So you have one that you can do a scoot, you have one that can do a pitch, and then one that do a drive.
Right. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
I'm just guessing.
I don't know how they're going to handle trajectory. I mean, at this point, there's not really much known about the game.
No, hopefully it's a Kirby a Megaton Punch style.
Right.
Yeah,
probably. Probably. I'm really interested.
Split the world.
It's so good. Oh man. Yeah. So okay, is Fortnite Imposters just Among Us? Is that what's
Yes.
going on? They just
Yes.
ripped off Among
They
Us.
completely ripped off Among Us. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Moth and Wolf.
Hey.
Yo, what up,
Thank you.
Moth
You
and
didn't have to say that.
Wolf?
We all got fancy shirts on.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
No, go with that orange today. Go with
Yeah.
that orange. Even though I think your shirt wins the day.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
And we have a topic.
Yeah.
About,
We'll get there.
But so no. So there's a lot of Fortnite's over here just kind of fucking up. I mean, they're doing a lot of things that will make them more money and gain more notoriety in the public. But this imposters thing, it really sucks because they completely ripped off Among Us, and even the map for Among Us.
Oh wow! I didn't know it went that far.
Well. So it looks like a little spaceship too.
Yes.
I thought they just ripped off the what? I guess this would be mechanics.
Well, yeah. The whole thing is like you have all these tasks to go out there and do, while there's one person that needs to kill everyone else in secrecy, and then
one or multiple people. I think. It just depends.
Right.
As far as Among Us, but like you don't know who the killer is, and you're supposed to keep that secret.
Yeah, but they'll accidentally leave bodies or whatever.
Right. And well, if you see something, then you have to have a discussion about it.
If you see something, you say something.
That's right.
You call it to a vote, and then you all have that conversation, and you try to convince each other that you are not the killer. And if people vote you as the killer, then they will eject you into space, and that's just it. And when you're being ejected, they tell you if you were actually the killer or not.
Right.
And then the gameplay loop starts again. The problem is that they stole all of that completely, and they're not giving credit where credit's due. And the developers
that's Fortnite in general, because they did that with the Battle Royale PUBG kind of shit.
Well, but that's a Battle Royale is kind of an open book. There's a lot more you can do with that without taking someone's actual game. You can make like Apex Legends and Fortnite are not the same. Even though they are Battle Royale, Warzone, Apex Legends, Fortnite, they're all Battle Royale, but they're all different interpretations of Battle Royale. And even the Among Us developers were like, hey, we don't mind that, you took nods from our title, which is also largely successful and very popular right now.
Everybody.
The only thing that they have a problem with is that they weren't credited for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they approached Epic to do a crossover, and Epic put it on the shelf.
Okay.
They were like, okay, well, maybe, and kept pushing it out, and then they just did it. Without the Among Us developers.
That's
I forgot the name of them. And then also these motherfuckers decided to put Martin Luther King in Fortnite. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they put it. They did a crossover with the museum. I forgot what. It's like the Institution of Art and Science. I don't know. I have to look it up. But they did a crossover event, and they were trying to bring awareness to like racial equality. And so what they did was they added like a museum, and in that museum you could go and hear the "I have a dream" speech and all that kind of stuff.
And people were throwing tomatoes and shit.
Oh no, they were flossing, baby.
They were flossing.
They were flossing. People were flossing over there. People run around killing each other. Because, that's the whole thing. It's like, you can't take a game that's built on shenanigans like Fortnite.
Try to introduce some real shit to it.
Yeah, right? Be like, okay, well, for a moment, And even if you watch the trailer, it's so funny because they have all these people's characters walking around and they're all like, being all somber and being all serious. That's not that way the game plays. That game will never be serious. You know what I'm saying? People are going to make themselves look as goofy as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then go and clown on MLK. That's what we're doing. Especially like considering the status of our current social economy or not economy, but social environment anyway. Like people are just gonna floss on MLK, and that's what they did, man. And so a lot of people are just like, why did you make this choice?
I know that they waited a day to ban a whole bunch of emotes. There were a lot.
Well, they should have. That's what they should have done. Is like made it where you
just
couldn't have actions. Like limit the amount of actions that you could have, and then people just wouldn't go into that content. They would go in one time. They'd find a way around it, and then that's just what it would be.
Right.
What's up? That's a lot of words.
Have you heard of Yokas Island Express?
No.
I haven't
Never
either.
Heard of it.
Adam, you'll have to regale me with that later.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't know. I'll look it up. Yeah.
So
no, they were talking about the emotes and stuff too.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing was just
really,
a bad
really
move.
bad.
Whole thing's is what we call a bad look.
Fortnite's fucking up. Epic's continuing to fuck up.
Yeah.
Good job.
But the thing is, will it really matter?
No.
At the end of the day,
it won't.
At the end of the day, no.
No.
They just had another major event, and so people are all over it anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just an interesting thing. Like they really thought it was a good idea. Like they really thought, it's like, okay, well, because I think their intentions were good.
I heard somebody refer to it as like, this is one of those situations where everybody was sitting in a board meeting and the intern was like, we could put this in Fortnite.
Right.
It'd be really cool. Yeah, actually, I think it was from the museum side of it that they're the ones that started the thing, right?
Yeah.
So you know it's some museum intern,
right?
Being
and
like,
so,
in Fortnite, there's a bunch of kids with Fortnite. We put the museum in Fortnite,
like, well, right? So we can reach all the children,
and they're going,
so they can
yes,
understand. Right?
yes,
Exactly.
this is a great idea.
Just like,
no, this is not a good
it's
idea.
not a
You
good
don't understand
idea.
what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like, I don't even know what game that would be appropriate in.
I think the only place BioShock.
It's
I think you could throw it into BioShock, and I think it would work in that arena. But outside of that, no, man. You know, I mean, because you got to remember,
BioShock, like classic or Infinite? What you going
Infinite.
for? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Infinite. You know what I'm saying? But because I mean, Fortnite is like, okay, so you're gonna go and you load into the MLK museum, whatever, and on the loading screen, it was just like somebody tweeted about this. It's like it says like, headshots are way better. You know, headshots are faster kills, and then you go into the MLK museum, and it's like bruh,
y'all want to go ahead and talk about Kennedy here too?
You know, for real, like, I mean, really, I mean, y'all didn't test this, you know?
See, now it'd be funny if they did that and they were talking about Reagan, because you know they should have aimed for the head instead.
Oh, wow. All right, moving right along. Cyberpunk's modders.
Yeah, what's up with the modders?
This is funny.
This
This is pretty funny. Like the
bright.
modders are kind of the only people that care about this game anymore. You know, like there's a
Understandably.
small group of people that still play it, but almost everybody passed it up
play
at
it
this point.
eventually.
I mean, yeah, when we
mean,
get a next gen patch, I'm gonna load the shit up. We're gonna
right.
see what's going on. You know,
Yeah.
we still have this copy. You know, it's just like I'll probably play The Witcher 3 once there's a next gen patch. I swear, I'll do it. I promise. It's not gonna happen.
Don't listen to him.
but so they got the modders to try to fix their broke ass game. Something Bethesda should have been doing from the.
I think that really they're taking
for
nods.
the entirety of Bethesda.
Well, I think that's really, I think it's all Bethesda that kind of made this kind of come to the forefront.
Oh yeah,
Nexus mods and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
with them releasing Skyrim again, with all this modded content, you know, it changes the face of the game, right? So it's like, you know, the question's always been, how do you save Cyberpunk at this point? Because once again, they've run off with their bags of loot. And
I think they got bonuses.
yes, they did. They got a lot of bonuses. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, how do you actually save the image of that game? And leaving it to the community is the smartest thing you can do. So what's happening right now is
probably the only
CD
thing they
Projekt
can do right
Red
now.
is actually hiring modders
Right.
to work on Cyberpunk in order to add different features and different content.
Yeah.
And if you just stop taking your game so seriously and let the modders do their thing,
Let it be a sandbox.
let it be
right?
a sandbox, right? Then all of a sudden you have a different way to market this piece of software, because
It's the
Cyberpunk-
community created Cyberpunk.
right?
Yeah.
Because Cyberpunk
Yeah.
is Look, okay, Cyberpunk. What they did was fucked up ethically. But from a mechanical standpoint, as long as you have the hardware, Cyberpunk is not that awful of an experience.
No.
It's really, really not.
And if you're
It's
sticking to
you
the
were-
main story, it's pretty rad.
Right, you know, exactly. If you go last gen, then I'm sorry they screwed you. They completely boned everybody, and they did that. They did it on purpose.
Don't
They
play
didn't-
it on the base bone.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Oh Lord, you know, unless you just want to laugh,
Yeah.
just don't pay to play it.
Yeah,
don't pay to
pay.
play it. You know,
Right.
it's very entertaining. But if you play it on PS5 or PC, it's actually
It was
a
fine.
decent piece of software.
It was perfectly fine. Yeah.
Right, and so, but now with all of the negative stigma, you know, throughout their fan base, or not fan base, but throughout the communities, it's like, okay, how do we rekindle some kind of interest? And if you leave that to the mod community, because it's just like with like anime and live action films, like the fan made shit is some of the best shit you'll ever see.
Oh,
If you
yeah,
ever look
yeah,
at like
absolutely.
the live action Naruto fan made, just do a YouTube search
Oh,
for
yeah.
it.
Dude, you remember
There's
that
some
fan made
awesome stuff.
Power Rangers?
Yes.
That was so hype.
Dude,
you know,
yeah, you know, I'm telling
Ooh.
you, just leave it to the fans, and
the
this
indie
might be,
MK thing that was going on. You remember that Mortal Kombat series?
Oh,
that was like
yeah,
that shit
yeah,
was
that
really
was
cool.
really
And then
good.
they
Cool.
tried to market that as a series,
Well,
and
and
it didn't
too,
work
it's
so
like
well.
the-
Yeah, it's like
right.
Like the fan made fucking Metroid short films and shit. Like
There you
that.
go.
Those are,
Yeah.
those are pretty rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they
But
have one with
speaking of-
Mega Man dies at the end.
what?
They did
Maybe.
the same thing. Mega Man dies at the end.
Man.
Yeah, I think that might have been Lowbrow that did that one.
Oh.
So yeah,
Did he go boing boing boing?
you
boing,
know he
boing?
did. You
Hell
know
yeah.
he did,
Yeah.
man. And so
This one's for you.
Yeah.
no, it's not. I don't want to. No, fuck this.
What is
anyway,
this?
Look,
what is this? Don't.
Nah, man.
You can't
this
just
is,
skip over this.
No, this is Final Fantasy 14. They actually put out a box set of albums, like actually
LPs,
like,
yeah.
LPs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so let me look at the price of this thing. Because it looks magnificent.
Is it like music from the game?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so they're
it's
going
kind of like
for
that Volta box set we were
Uh-huh.
talking about,
okay.
but
Yeah.
with all the 14 music. Yeah.
So they have it going for actually $189. You can get
That's
it for
not
$200
too bad.
for 4 albums, and they go
For, like
vinyl,
vinyl,
4 vinyl
vinyl,
albums
That
that
box is
go
really
across
nice.
all the expansions.
Yeah.
And so it's absolutely gorgeous. The packaging
yeah.
is absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh,
just
it's
like,
great.
the reason why I don't want to talk about it is because I don't want to buy it. Because it would look so good on the shelf, man.
Yeah, it would.
It would look so just classy and good. And people are like, oh, looking at through your record collection, like, oh,
What
what's
is this? Yeah.
You know, I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, let me show you.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder if the albums themselves have some crazy shit on them, because I
They do not.
Oh, okay.
The albums themselves are fine. However, the well, I wish we could just display this.
because they make some really nice looking vinyls nowadays.
But
Yeah,
each
they
one
do.
has a sleeve that's specialized
Oh,
for the
that's nice.
expansion
Look
that
at
they're
that.
representing.
Yeah.
And so it is. It's looking absolutely phenomenal. I wish I could show you guys too. But
Just
definitely
look
look
it
it
up.
up.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been putting out a lot of. They've been doing a lot of crossovers for Final Fantasy 14 and selling.
How much was that Stratocaster?
Types of merch. I think that was like sitting at like 2 Gs.
Yeah, that
somewhere
makes
around there.
sense.
Yeah.
For a custom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's an American, so it's
yeah.
gonna.
But those things sold out like immediately.
Of course they
Of
did.
course they did.
Yeah.
With that flip flop paint, dude.
Yeah, super sick. But they also put the item in the game, so
Yeah.
You know,
So you got one.
You can, yeah.
I know.
got
I've
one-
seen you jamming
I got
on
one
it.
on the wall in
Yeah.
my house. Sometimes I'll just sit there and wail on it.
I saw somebody playing Chop Suey on one of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
It's just so cool.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really cool. But no, it's like they did the whole thing. We talked about it before with the watches and with the chicky nuggies.
The chicky nuggies.
Fuck those
but
chicky nuggies.
Yeah, right.
tartar sauce inside
tartar
of them.
sauce and
And
squid
barbecue.
and pepper sauce.
Pepper.
Black
okay.
pepper sauce.
It doesn't matter.
But,
It's
uh,
bad.
It's garbage.
It's inside the nuggie.
Yeah.
Why would you put the sauce in the nuggie?
That's
It's fucking terrible.
because Japan, bro.
Oh,
because
it's like
Japan.
Because Japan. There we go.
Yeah.
cyst.
Don't ask questions
It's
that you don't want the answers to.
Yuck. My
But
God.
no, I don't know, man. I might pick up that box.
I mean, it's only going to go up in price. You know?
Absolutely.
You got to buy it now.
And in
Or
value,
it's
Yeah,
just
it's
going to get more
buy it,
expensive.
yeah.
I mean, after Endwalker, like this game is about to crush.
Yeah.
There are about to be a lot of people who would pay a lot of money for that thing. So we'll see.
So, what's with this Project Magnum?
It's another. It's
That came out really weird.
Project Durex.
Yeah, really.
You know, like-
Enhanced for her pleasure.
I was reading it earlier and I
the,
kept saying Project Megum.
Yeah, and I was going like, what?
Excuse?
I think I was just thinking of Megamine from Konosuba.
Well, it looks cool. It's another teaser trailer we saw, Project Magnum. It was fairly short, but it looks like Outriders, and it looks a bit like Vanquish, and it's got like a super quick over-the-shoulder shooter kind of style thing going on. The graphics look fucking
look great.
amazing.
It looks
Yeah,
really good.
yeah. Looks like it'll be a fun time.
Yeah.
But we don't have a whole lot of info on it either. You know, just new
as
things.
long as they just don't advertise it as a live service game, man. That they can shoot themselves in the foot by being like, okay, it's a live service, and then people are like,
we
okay.
got a roadmap.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. You know,
Nope.
same thing that happened with Outriders, man.
Yeah.
You know, like Outriders was a great game, but just not enough to do.
Not enough to do and broken
know?
at the beginning.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
because you were having some serious problems when it first.
Well, I was one of
came
the
out.
lucky ones that didn't, but a lot of my friends did. I had one
Oh,
friend
that's
who
what it was,
lost
yeah.
all of his whole inventory.
That's
just gone. You know, we got logged out. Now we had issues with like crashes.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? But that was always a testament to me, like of how enjoyable the game actually was to play.
Yeah.
Because we would sit there and deal with it, and sit there and spam trying to get into the game just
Right.
to play it. You know, even if we can only play for like 30, 45
oh,
minutes.
you getting an R code?
You know, right? And you just spam it over and over and over again. And for me, it's like, okay, that's frustrating. That sucks. But that also means that they've got a quality piece of software because we're doing it.
Yeah. that's
You
what
know,
I'm
instead
saying.
of just
You're playing
deleting
it
this game.
regardless.
Yeah, I should have deleted it, right? But
Yeah.
I want to get in there and I want to get my loot. You know,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what they do with Project Magnum
Yeah.
because there's kind of a gap there.
It looks fun though.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see more about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which next week we'll probably be seeing something about the Horizon Forbidden West. I imagine we're going to see a little bit about it.
Yeah.
So you wrote on the board Horizon bullshit. So what's the bullshit?
It's some bullshit.
Well,
this is some bullshit, man. So they announced a while back that this is going to be on PS4 and PS5, right? And in general, the way that they've been releasing these games is you buy it, like for instance with Resident Evil Village, right?
You buy
it, you get 4, both copies.
Yeah,
right.
You can upgrade to the 5.
They're not doing that at all with this, unless you buy the like limited edition.
It's their Ultimate Digital Edition.
Yeah, so it's like $80. That's the only way that you get both of them. But if not, you'd be spending the 70, right, on the game, whether it's on PS4 or PS5, and only getting the one version of it. And they have no plans at all of doing an upgrade. You know?
Yeah, that was the problem. Like with Ghost of Tsushima, you can actually still pay to upgrade from the PS4 to the PS5 version.
Yeah.
But this is one of the first instances where, and this is going to become the trend, and that's the
it.
Scary thing.
That's it. This is the transition period,
that's
right?
the bullshit about this.
This is going to be the new standard.
Exactly. This is it's nickel and diming because it's like for people who don't have a PS5 yet, and this is going to be, you know, premier title coming out in February of 2022.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, you buy that for your PS4, and it's all you had at the time. But you know, now PS5s are a little bit more available. You get a PS5. Oh, I'll be able to play my Horizon on my PS5.
Yeah.
It won't
the
be
PS4 version.
Play the PS4 version, right?
Okay.
So it'll be, and they haven't even stated whether it'll be upscaled, very much like Ghost of Tsushima was.
I don't think it
I don't
is.
think there's going to be a patch at all.
No.
It's just going to be like, okay, this is going to be the PS4 Pro version, and that's what you got.
Yep.
And if you want to play the PS5 version, that's going to cost you another $70.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I mean,
because there's no upgrade to the there's no I'm gonna spend the extra $10 now and get no there's none of that. And they've already said very clearly we're not doing an upgrade.
Right. You know, and so that's really, well, I think that could change.
That's going to be it moving forward,
I think that could change, you know, because I think with all the backlash that they're getting for it right now.
They can at least sell the upgrade. That's all they need to do, right?
Exactly. They're going to have to do something
then
about
it won't
that.
sting as bad.
Right. Because they've been, like, so amicable during this whole, you know, really just bullshit with people getting PS5s and trying to help people, try to ease people, ease people's transitions from PS4 to PS5. And being an early adopter of PS5, for me, I'm like, this is great, and it's a great business model. However, I've always wondered how sustainable it actually is, you know, because I mean they are losing money, to be honest about it. They're losing a lot of money. It's a smart option, especially when you have Microsoft running Game Pass as hard as they are.
Well, because Microsoft's transition is basically non-existent.
Yeah, right.
You know, I don't even think the dashboard looks any different on the new consoles.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's just more powerful box.
Yep. Absolutely.
Welcome to your same shit.
Right. And so I think with all of those facts, that might push Sony to, and this is what I hope, it might push them to rethink that strategy. I think they felt like, okay, this is just the time to do it. At some point, we have to quit giving away software.
Yeah.
At some point, you know, and maybe it's just a little too early.
Which, you know, kind of feeds into them doing the upgrade with PlayStation Plus potentially. You know what I mean? If they make an upgrade to PlayStation Plus where you're spending more per month, but you're getting free games more often, you know, that kind of thing, then it would justify it on their side without them doing this side of it per game. You know what I mean? Yeah. So maybe that's what they're going for over time. I don't know.
I hope so. I mean, they've got an opportunity to save this one because this was poorly thought out.
Yeah.
You know? And so
it disappointed people already that it was coming out to last gen.
Right.
People were like, whoa, I thought this was supposed to be flexing on the PS5 and could only work on the PS5 and that kind of shit. And it turns out,
we want to sell copies. So
and I mean, the Decima engine is extremely optimized. That's another thing too.
Absolutely.
You know, like the PC stuff is kind of amazing how well, maybe not Horizon, but definitely Death Stranding. Like it runs great on stuff that you wouldn't expect. You know?
I mean, I went ahead and reinstalled Horizon Zero Dawn last night.
Oh, did you see that 60?
And so no, I haven't. We were up.
Oh yeah, we were
till like 5 in the morning, bro. No, I wasn't gonna start Horizon Zero Dawn. I had to go to bed. But I'm going to do that tonight when I get home. Yeah. And so I'm very interested in seeing how that 60 FPS, because after looking at No Man's Sky, I'm just like, bring it.
Yeah.
You know, bring it on. Let me see this. It's going to be amazing.
Show me the power.
Show me the power.
There you go.
I have the power.
Yep.
Netflix Bebop.
Yeah. Have you not heard about this?
I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But are we talking about Faye at this point?
Just
Are we
that-
talking about
I
John
don't.
Cho?
I don't really
Just
care.
in
I think,
general,
see, like
they've been
John
roasting
Cho,
him.
I like John
Yeah,
Cho.
I did see that.
Saying that he's too old.
Well, no, I don't know about that.
No,
I-
seriously, that
don't know about that.
that
Everybody's
was trending on
like,
Twitter.
yeah.
That's no.
People
I
are
just
very
think that
upset
Spike
because-
Spiegel's Jewish. Personally, like,
Wow.
I mean,
Wow,
he's
Philip.
not an Asian guy.
I
like,
mean,
like it's very
there's
obvious
that,
in the
but
show.
Damn,
like,
man. You got to be Jewish specifically.
he's Spiegel. I'm not trying to be a dick here. The man's name's Spiegel. I'm sorry, okay? I'm not being a dick. But I'm just like I think there's just
See
this
your
weird
space
thing
puts.
that a lot of people look at. They're like, well, it's an Asian show. We have to have an Asian cast. Okay, I'm fine with that.
But they've
Like,
always done that in
but
anime.
Spi-
They make Japanese characters look like white people all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but this
You
is
know.
more the opposite thing, right?
You know,
It's
well,
like
kind
these
of.
are these
They
are
just
fairly
cast-
obviously just, you know,
I don't know. I think
'Cause
because of
Faye could be Asian. She looks vaguely Asian in the show. You know what I mean? I'm fine with
I
that.
don't
but
think anybody
Spike
was-
But it
doesn't.
doesn't.
I think Jet was the only one that I would think would be an American at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jet seems like
You
an
know?
American.
Yeah, I would give him that. Spike, I don't know. Who knows where that
He
dude
could
came
be
from.
whatever.
But,
Yeah.
but
I'm just,
ultimately,
you know,
yeah,
I don't mind John
ultimately-
Cho though. I don't really care. I think
I
the
love John
casting.
Cho.
I like John Cho.
I like John Cho a
Cho's
lot.
Well, yeah,
And
yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
but he said he wants to bring more emotion to Spike Spiegel. But people they were like, because he's in he's like 47, and they're like, no,
There's no way he's
supposed to be
doing
younger.
Swimming Bird. He can't
You
be
know?
Swimming Bird. No,
Yeah, and so
I wonder how they're going to handle the action, because that's really the thing. I don't think John Cho is going to be able to pull off the stuff just because what's going on in Cowboy Bebop is kind of impossible to
Right.
do and that's my biggest problem with it. I actually don't
Well,
have a problem with the casting. I'm cool with it.
Oh no,
It's
not
just,
at all.
Well,
Yeah.
you just need somebody who's like skilled in Jeet Kune Do.
Really,
Yeah.
they need somebody that's such a good martial artist that I mean,
But I mean, that's what stunt doubles are for, bro.
yeah, but
And we got
man,
CG out the ass.
Well,
so,
it, like,
I mean, I feel what you're saying, because I don't know if John Cho has the moves. He might be able to capture a good tone.
Absolutely,
for Spike,
as a character,
but
he's
I don't
probably gonna do
know-
just fine. You know, and
Yeah.
I think he looks cool. Like
Right.
I like him with the.
I
the
like
I mean,
how
yes.
all the
Yeah.
main
Look really
cast
good.
look.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all those photos that
Yeah.
they have on like
Looks-
fucking IMDb.
looks great.
That's
Uh-huh.
fucking great.
Yeah.
The thing that
Ein
bothers
is
me.
perfect.
Ein is perfect.
Yeah, right.
The thing that bothers me though, looking at the cast list earlier today, is they don't have anybody cast for Ed.
yeah.
Like,
Is Ed not gonna
is
be in
Ed
this?
just not going to be in the show?
I think Ed will
Like,
be there.
It's gonna
I
be a
mean,
surprise. You think?
yeah.
Gonna
I
pop
hope
up?
so.
So who
think
could
so.
play Ed? Huh? Can you even think of an
Ooh.
individual to play silly Edward? Huh?
Well,
Ruski
because
the
yeah.
I would think that the androgynous nature of whoever they cast would be a factor.
Yeah.
You know,
They'd need somebody pretty young.
that need a younger person.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
some-
what's that kid?
They have to be able to turn their body into jelly.
yeah,
'cause that's,
gotta do like
Maybe the
That's
kid
right.
who plays Mike in Stranger Things. I think he would be kind of goofy.
Okay.
I think
yeah.
he could work a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other child actors that could actually like.
Well,
work
teenage
Ed.
actors, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
I'm
younger
getting
teenage,
old, so I consider that a.
They're all
but that's not-
children.
that's not
Child.
fair.
They're all
Right, that's not fair.
You're all children
so-
to me.
For real.
I
But maybe who? It would have to be like a no name.
yeah. I
You
would
know,
say
that
Yeah.
would be the best case scenario.
I just-
you know?
I-
and then would you cast a male or a female?
I mean, kind of doesn't matter if they
Right.
fit the role
Yeah.
correctly.
They fit
Yeah,
the
because I
role,
mean
yeah.
that's the thing with Ed is she's always confused as a boy anyway.
Boy,
so,
exactly right.
you know,
So it
it's
doesn't
like-
really matter.
yeah.
It'd be even funnier if they cast a boy to do the
Yeah,
role.
absolutely.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know? That'd be so cool.
But I don't think they're going to be able to capture the tone of Cowboy Bebop. That's all I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
What
I
they're
don't-
What
trying
is
to
it?
accomplish is very difficult.
Watanabe.
Yeah.
You were telling me they like interviewed him. They asked him, "It's like, how do you feel about this live action Netflix Bebop?" And he was just like, "Good luck."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what he
it's-
had to
it's
say about
very
it.
That's about what he
difficult.
had to say.
He's-
Look, man, I'm not expecting this to be like a one-to-one translation of Cowboy Bebop.
No.
Look, that is literally impossible.
It's
They
impossible.
cannot, they
No,
cannot
they
capture.
No, well,
that-
and that's the
that
nature.
magic. They
that's
can't
the
do
nature
it.
of adaptation. When you're moving from medium to medium, you're going to have to make changes. And I'm not afraid of them making changes per se. I just hope it's executed well, because I'm always saying, like, I know how much people don't like live action anime adaptations, especially if it's done from a Western perspective.
Right.
But I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, not that I've seen any great ones thus far, but I do feel like there's a lot of stories, a lot of anime out there that could be adapted into really good movies or shows.
And reach a different audience.
And reach a different audience,
Yeah.
because these are that's just another tool in your tool belt when you're a storyteller, is just, oh, there actually is some really good stuff coming out of this medium.
Right.
I think they're going the wrong way by getting all the popular shit.
Well,
I really do think they should
yeah.
dive more into like some of the more like lesser known 80s and 90s like
Man,
OVAs.
make Jinro into a live action film.
Right.
Fuck,
That'd be
dude.
amazing. You know what I mean?
I put up a list on my Facebook of like the Armitage the Third, Pat Labor, Gunslinger Girls. I mean, you can't tell me that at least those three.
Gunslinger Girls is amazing.
Gunslinger Girls would
So
be
good.
great as a live action.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, there are just so many people who, you know, refuse to watch anything animated. And so, you know, something like Cowboy Bebop that, I mean, I feel like everyone should enjoy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it'd be really nice if they'd be able to translate that into a way that could, if at its very least, maybe convince some of these naysayers to actually give the original material a shot.
Yeah.
But
at this point, aren't the people that watch the original material the only ones that care about this?
well, at this point, but
Yeah.
once it goes live,
Once
then
it goes live,
yeah.
people could just be randomly going through
Yeah,
Netflix.
just
by the
this
nature
looks
of
so-
what is
Netflix,
this?
right?
What
Oh,
is the Cowboy
John
Bebop?
Cho's in this? I love John
Exactly.
Cho.
You know,
and that's what's going to
that's-
happen. And then those
yeah.
people end up being the ones that are like, just, oh, they made a cartoon about this?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's like, and that's the way that the whole thing works. That's the way it all moves. But it's also interesting that they're going to be focusing on the Pierre LeFou. That arc and then
Yeah.
or that story, and then I think we're going like pretty much straight into Ballad of Fallen Angels.
Into Vicious.
Yeah.
Into
And it's
Vicious,
like-
because Vicious is cast.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
And
so
so
he's
it's
in the
like,
cast list.
how are they going to break this up? You
It
know,
seems like
and then
there's-
who's going to be Pierre LeFou?
Yeah, for real.
Well, here's
Jesus.
here's the thing too. What is it? I may be wrong, but it's only like 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's going to be a
So
short
they're
one. I thought it was
literally
like 8, but
condensing.
yeah.
Yeah, they're condensing these 2 storylines. What, you're just gonna do 3 and 3?
Man,
Right,
that almost
you
makes
know?
me feel like they don't have a place for Ed.
That's what I'm
They
worried
might
about.
not, because I mean,
They
Ed
might
came on
not.
really kind of late in the entire series
Oh, yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
Where
so
she's
maybe
drawing
they didn't.
Nazca lines with a satellite.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe they haven't found Ed yet,
Yeah.
and maybe it's like if they get renewed for another season, then that's a
they'll
bridge that
bring
they'll
Ed in.
cross, because it looks like they are trying to focus on Spike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because like, you know, and that's one of the joys of animation, is that you can explain a lot in a very short period of time.
Absolutely.
Once you start talking about live action, that becomes very difficult to do. You
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. It might be good. I'm gonna give it a chance.
I'm gonna
give it a
give.
shot.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
give it a
I'll
chance.
watch it when it comes out.
I am.
I'm just,
I am.
not sure they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You know?
I mean, that wouldn't be surprising, man.
Crossing my fingers. I hope the execution's what's gonna matter.
Mm-hmm.
Overall. But you know, crossing my fingers. I hope it's good.
Well,
that
me
would
too.
just be another cool thing.
Speaking
Yeah.
of execution, that has to do with our next topic.
Brave Sir Robin ran away.
He bravely ran
away. I didn't.
Sir Robin.
You know, dude, look. Okay, all right.
When
So
danger reached his ugly head, he
bravely turned his tail and fled.
Brave, 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 brave Sir Robin.
Dude, man, that's what I felt about this goddamn movie. I
The
felt like this
whole
whole
time.
the whole time.
I'm just
It's
like, this
dude,
is Holy Grail.
Y'all are just It's like, dude,
Yeah.
you're pooping all over poor Gawain. Okay, so and here's another thing. Okay, so they call this man. All right, Gawain is the proper pronunciation for this name.
They call him Garwin.
They call him
Garwin.
Garwin.
Well, he has
That's
he has
Arthur.
but Arthur has that very like Ireland almost,
Yes.
Gaelic.
Yes.
Like, so he would have pronounced the R hard.
Exactly.
He can't.
And I'm sure that was it was probably a creative decision.
That was
by the actor.
absolutely.
He's like,
Oh,
no,
of
this
course
is
it was.
how
This
I'm
is
going
how
to
he'd
say
say
it.
it, yeah.
And then it's just like,
Because
all right,
really,
well,
you say it breathier. Gawain.
Gawain, you know,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so most people were calling him Gawain, and but he was like Garwin, and I was just like, whoa, man. But they just shat on this dude the whole time.
They did.
You know, the whole time, and the original story doesn't go like that.
No, but
you know,
I
took some liberties with this
I
one.
think they only
He
took
never,
so many liberties though.
Are we spoiler casting? What are we doing?
Yeah, we got it. I mean,
so before we spoiler cast, what had happened?
What had happened?
Yeah.
You want to know what happened?
What had happened?
Yeah, the medieval Groot stole Christmas.
Heard that.
That's what happened.
Yep. Summed it up.
That's right.
What you guys think of that one?
I like it.
Yeah, which medieval Groot is played by I can't think of his name. He's the Ironborn guy in Game of Thrones, and he's also in The Witch. He's the
iron price.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. You said he was in The Witch?
Cleftjaw, I think is his name, something like that. Yeah, in The Witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was him.
That's him.
Yeah.
He's the daddy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. I love The Witch. Oh God,
Yeah,
love
I
The
think
Witch.
the Green Knight, like himself, that was a really cool piece of makeup. Like, I mean, his
the way
armor was cool.
Every time he moved, it sounded like tree
limbs,
limbs rustling
yeah,
and all that
he was
stuff.
more of like a dryad.
Mhm. Well, so let's talk about the original story real quick, right? Before we get into the movie, let's talk about the original story. So
Ralph Ineson.
one of the problems with Ralph Ineson,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
Ineson.
absolutely, and he does a whole bunch of voice acting work too, because he's got such a good
I
grumbly,
I
that
thought I had heard that
grumbly
name
English voice. So like in the original story, and this is one of the big problems with Arthur tales, and me and him were talking about this. There's like no consistency.
Well, they don't even know who wrote that story, dude.
Right, it's anonymous. It's been retold a bunch of times.
Absolutely.
There's versions of the story that go this way. There's versions of the story that go this way.
Yeah.
There's 3 or 4 ancient cultures that had a story pretty much similar to the Green Knight. There's one that's like a I guess it'd be more like Scandinavian story, and then there's one that's what's that, Celtic. What am I trying to say? Gaelic, Celtic, like that kind of side. I don't remember the name of the particular god, but every one of these versions of the story vary slightly, right? But the actual Arthur story is kind of a good story, and it turns out having a good ending, and it's very much like this is why you shouldn't lie.
Exactly, just
right?
be honest.
Just be honest, and that's what the whole story is about. This is like the dark version of that story, and it takes everything that was good about the original and shows you the worst case scenario.
I think they changed the entire premise of the entire
meaning
behind the story.
Yeah.
Because this really focused more on being a coward more so than being dishonest.
But what
because at the when he was sitting there and he was imagining, spoiler cast. All right. So
do you want to paint the broad strokes of the story real quick?
Yeah. We'll just get that out of the way. So the story is about Sir Gawain, whatever your heart desires. Garwin. And he is the nephew of King Arthur. He has no great stories. He is literally that.
He's literally
that crown, bro. I was like, really?
That fucking necklace that he wears, the heart with the fucking crown of thorns around it.
Yeah.
And the white and the red. I mean, that is exactly a fucking Renaissance Jesus picture.
Absolutely, literally that.
Did you see him when he was gesturing the Green Knight over, and he did that like
I'm just like, come on, man, what's happening here? And then worse of all, Guinevere is Lysa Tully, and that's problematic.
And you can only think of one thing.
That's the only thing, milksop, right? And I'm just like, oh god damn it, dude. Back to Robin. Back to Robin.
Wow. Robin of Aaron.
Robin of Aaron. Absolutely, Robin of the Vale. And so, Arthur's like, I wish that I would have shared some time with you, Sir Gawain, and learn more about you. Tell me a story. And Gawain's like, no, I don't have a story. And Lysa's like, not yet. And then on cue, here comes the Green Knight, and he offers the challenge.
Which was summoned by Gawain's mother.
Well, yeah.
Because she is Morgan Le Fay.
Morgan Le Fay, So Morgan Le Fay, well, that's get once again the original story versus.
I mean, that's obviously what's going on here.
Right, but they don't tell you anything.
They don't tell you
in the
that that's
movie,
Arthur either.
Right.
They actually don't tell you.
They really don't
any
tell
of
you.
these.
You're supposed to assume these things.
Dude, his name's the King in the credits.
Right.
Yeah.
Her name is the Queen.
That's really interesting.
Everybody except for like 4 people are all just like
and none of the knights have names.
No,
you can just kind of figure out who
the
they
guy's
are
house.
based
Well,
on-
and
It's just the Lord.
Well, and I
Right.
feel
Like-
this is
right.
less
It's all
of
just backdrop.
less of an like adaptation of the story. I feel like the original story was just a basic framework to get the feeling of what this movie is going for out.
Well, I
You
mean,
know?
they did take
Like-
the beginning of the original story,
Right,
and
absolutely.
translate that pretty much one to one.
Absolutely.
And the sash is in it.
Yeah,
the sash
right?
is a big deal with the original story.
Yeah,
the
but it's really
sash.
just it really is more just point to point to point.
I know what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I know, man. Let's
You
get
are
through
not
this.
a
All right,
nerd.
hold on. Let's get through this. All right.
Yeah.
So they are all celebrating for Christmas,
Yeah.
and the Green Knight shows up. He comes in. And he's just like, I want to. Actually, no, that's the original story. This Green Knight just walks in and he holds up his holly branch, and they're like, okay, come on in. And he drops the holly on the ground. I'm like, that's rude. And
You
then
deal
he's
with
like, yeah, right, somebody sweep this up. And so he comes in on
King
his
don't
horse.
care. He's got people for that.
He's got people for that. But they're all supposed to be enjoying merriment.
Right.
And so he comes in. He's like, I want to play a game. And he's like, whoever is strong enough
Who's
to
this
face
motherfucking
me.
Jigsaw?
Whether they, I mean, seriously, that's how he approaches the
That's how it-
situation. He's like, okay, well, whoever's brave enough, the strongest of the strong, the bravest of the brave, you can try to strike me down. If you nick me, if you wound me, then I will give you my axe that comes with all of its riches and glory. And so everybody's like, but he says there's one caveat that in a year's time, you come and find me, and I will return 1 year hence. I will return the wound that you inflicted upon me.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to do it. Gawain was like, I'll do it. And
Yeah, man,
everybody's
'cause he's trying
and
to-
Arthur's over there just like, are
like,
you
yeah,
sure?
yeah,
Do you
well,
know
at
what
this
he
point-
means? Do you
understand?
understand?
You
yeah,
understand.
and
well,
he's just like, yeah, I'll
Gawain's
do it.
kind of an idiot, and he's just trying to prove himself. 'cause
Right.
He's trying to ascend from just, hey,
being
I'm
a drunk fuck up.
being a drunk fuck up to an
But
actual
that's not,
knight.
See, that's another difference from the original story because he was an actual knight. But anyway, and so so Gawain goes over and he's just like, I need a sword, and nobody wants to give him a sword, so he gets Excalibur. You know what I'm saying?
Hands
King
the
Arthur
boy
just hands him
Excalibur, dude.
Excalibur.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, all right, this is getting real. And so
It kind of looked like the other knights got offended by that.
oh,
Like,
of course.
Yeah.
It's like you just gave him
we
Excalibur.
never get to
You basically just made
swing
him.
Excalibur.
Well, he just basically became king for a moment.
I don't
you
know. I think maybe he should have gone in with the fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs.
Seems like it would have been better
that would
for
have
him
been nice.
in the
You
end.
know what I'm saying? Well, you were the one who said that you'll take this challenge unarmed. Well, go,
And
go
you said
get
you
'em.
understood it.
Go
you
get
said
him,
man.
Yeah, show me. It's time for you to establish your tale. And so yeah, man. And so he jumps over there with Excalibur, and the Green Knight is like, okay, well, hands open. And,
Puts
you
that
know, arms
axe
open.
down and
What you want
About
to
to
do?
say,
And he's
Neil-
like, no, challenge me. And so he puts down the axe. And he's Gawain's over here. They're like, I don't know what to do. And then the Green Knight turns his head and shows him the back of his neck. And Gawain, in all of his bravado, goes and decapitates him. He says, "Everyone remember this day," and decapitates
all them
the dude.
dumbasses cheer for him.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
But the whole time, the king and the lady are looking at him like,
Ooh, it's like you didn't think maybe cut him on the cheek.
didn't he?
Yeah,
hear
I was
that?
about to
you
say,
could've-
he's
Just
like,
give him a little
Nick-
smack.
Yeah,
on the
you know what I'm
shoulder?
saying? Exactly,
right.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be hardcore, take a finger, bro.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
that's
decapitation. Like, all right. And so
You didn't hear what this man said about him doing the same thing to you, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
like,
exactly.
back,
And so,
yeah.
so that's the whole story. Like, so in a year's time, he's got to go and face the Green Knight, and that's the deal. And he encounters many pitfalls along the way.
Yeah.
And hilarity ensues.
Right, and hilarity ensues.
So, I completely see what you're saying about how in the original story he was actually a knight, and
Yes.
the way that he's framed in the original story is he is like a good person.
Yeah.
He's just put into this situation, and then he ends up overcoming the situation because of a lie, and
Right.
and then
Well,
he feels
the-
bad about the lie and tells Arthur and the rest of the court, and they go, this is why we shouldn't lie. Everybody wear a green sash to remind yourself.
Right,
Yeah,
because okay, in the original story, he was a knight. He stepped forward. He had his own sword.
Yeah.
And decided to decapitate this Green Knight to get the glory, whatever. He got that glory, and a year and a day. That's how the original story went. It was a year and a day. He goes back to find him, but ends up at a castle with Lord. What's his name? It starts with a B. Oh God, what is the name? Fuck. It's this Lord and the lady of the house as well. And an old lady. They all lived there, and they showed him, nothing but kindness. They said that the Green Chapel is only a couple of miles away. You can stay here until the day that you have to make your journey. The Lord of that castle was a hunter by trade, and so he's like, okay, well, I'll go out hunting on a daily basis, and I'll bring you whatever it is that I find, if you'll give me whatever it is that you find on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Now, whenever the king went out or the Lord went out, the lady of the house would always flirt with Sir Gawain, right? And so she's like trying to get all up on him, and he's like, no. He
resists.
He resists.
In the real
the first
story.
time. Yeah, the first time he gives her a single kiss because she's like, I'm a lady, and as a reward, you should give me a kiss. And so he did that. So the Lord comes back, brings him the game of the day, and he gives the Lord a kiss. Okay. The second time the Lord goes out, goes hunting, the lady tries again, and that day Gawain gives her 2 kisses. And so Lord comes back, and Gawain gives him 2 kisses. All right, they don't explain shit. It's just they just kissing. That's the way. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a good story. Let them kiss. Let them kiss. Everybody get kisses. Get kisses. So the third time he goes out, he goes hunting. Then, the lady of the house tries again, and Gawain shuts her down. And so she tries to give him a golden ring, and he refuses it. She's like, don't tell my husband about this, but take this golden band. And he's like, no, I'm not taking that from you. And so she's like, well, at least take my belt, take my sash. If you wear this sash, then it will prevent you from coming to harm, but don't tell my husband. And so husband comes back, and he gives Gawain gives the Lord 3 kisses, but doesn't tell him about the sash. Right. And so he ends up going on his adventure, going to the chapel. Gets there, the Green Knight is there, sharpening his axe, getting ready for what's to come. And Gawain's like, okay, I'm here to present my head. Like, let's go. And he kneels down to do the thing, and the Green Knight tries to decapitate him.
Ping.
But Gawain flinches. And when he flinches, the Green Knight's just like, wait, I thought King Arthur's knights were fearless. I thought you feared nothing, And Gawain's just like, okay, all right, whatever, let's do it again. And so the Green Knight, instead of decapitating Gawain, just leaves a nick on the back of his neck. Yeah. And Gawain got very offended by this, right? But the Green Knight was like, okay, I reveal myself to be the Lord of the house that you had stayed at, right? So due to the fact that you were so honest on a daily basis and gave me what you got during the day is the reason why I'm sparing your life. However, you did not fulfill our agreement and tell me about the sash, and so you will wear this scar on the back of your neck for the rest of your life. Right. And so he told him that he was the most blameless knight. He was like, you are the most blameless of all knights. And Gawain went back to Arthur's court, and everyone still celebrated him as a hero, and they did agree to wear the green sash in honor of him. But Gawain really kept that sash going just to remind himself of a promise that he made that he failed to keep. So the whole story was really just about being honest. You know, I mean, that was the whole meaning behind it. But I think this movie just took it and just made it something else completely.
But was it bad?
I won't say that it. No, it was very entertaining. It was definitely
I enjoyed
entertaining.
the hell out of it.
Yeah, see, I really loved this movie.
Yeah,
I don't think I can put into words how I feel about it or what I think it means, because I tried to do that on the phone with you last night, and I just kept stumbling. And it's just like, well, it's pretty.
I think it's guilt. I think it's really about guilt and cowardice. I think it's about guilt and cowardice.
It's about
absolutely.
right, and I think it takes the basic concept that a lot of the Arthur stories do, where it's like, well, what is a true knight, right? Well, what if you're on the search?
There will probably be spoilers from here on forward.
Oh, there's been spoilers already.
Yeah, we've already been.
Well, we've already been. I don't know. That was the original story. This story is a little bit different.
Yeah, but I think that he is like it's the general quest of what is a knight, right?
Right.
But what if you're trying as hard as you can, and it turns out you're just full of shit?
It's just not.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
because that's what this story is.
You know,
that's the thing. It's all a facade.
Was never trying.
It's all a facade.
Yeah. You start off the movie in a whorehouse.
He's the rich kid that gets everything handed to him. Yeah. He has enough money to throw away on frivolous bullshit, on wine and
it's
whores.
not that he's not trying. It's just
he's
not.
He didn't put in any effort to be anything.
Yeah, even after he decapitated the Green Knight. Firstly, they didn't even give him the axe. The axe was like in a box somewhere, and that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like he had much glory because he was right back in that same whorehouse that he started off in. So
for the next year,
too. Next year, exactly.
Yeah, and then he doesn't even own up to
her
caring for her. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, because that's a consistent thing with that too, right?
She keeps asking him. It's just like, so when am I going to be
your
lady?
She proposed, man.
Yeah.
She's like,
she
baby,
straight up proposed.
I want to be the one.
And he's just sitting there, just not saying a goddamn.
He didn't say anything, dude. That shit hurt.
That hurt.
Man. It's like they paint him as a really shitty person.
They do. They absolutely
it's like
do.
when he first goes out on his journey and the kids are following him and they're yelling for him and he just ignores them. And then he kind of glances back, kind of whatever. I'm a bold knight. And then he gets run up on by that kid, who's just playing him. He's like, my information.
And I mean, come on, you knew that from the start.
Oh,
that
yeah.
This kid
Oh yeah. Well, he was over there
joke.
digging through corpses, picking up weapons and stuff. And then he sits there and tells him like, okay, well,
did you notice his boot?
North
his
is this
boot
way.
was all like this while he was walking.
Oh yeah. It's so weird, man. He was like, okay, well, yeah, go this way, and of course he sets him up. But he's like, yeah, go this way. He's like, but if do you have anything in exchange for my kindness? And the guy's like,
I give you thanks.
I give you thanks.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Come on, man. Like, you're a knight. Hook me up. And so he gives him like one single coin. And then, of course, they rob his ass.
Yeah.
Rob him and
Knew
tie
that
him
was
to a
coming.
tree.
I love that sequence, though. I love that sequence.
Absolutely.
It's a cool sequence.
So the guy takes his axe.
Yes.
Do we ever see him get it back?
Yeah,
he got it back
in
from
the house
from the
after
shade.
Oh, okay. So that's right. He does find it in the house.
In the house.
But we don't know how it got to the house.
Well, I think this is just one of those things.
It's all Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah,
probably.
because I have a strong feeling that she's conducting most of what's happening here.
Yeah.
Like,
it has to be.
She might be the fox.
Right. She definitely is the fox.
Okay. She might even
She's
be
definitely
controlling.
the shade. She's the fox.
She
She's
could
all
even
of
be the
those.
wife.
She
could even be the.
No, I don't think she's the wife.
Why does she look exactly like his girlfriend?
I mean, you're right. You're right.
It's strange there.
But then again, because he actually received the sash twice.
He received the sash twice, and it was from her again, and she made the same sash for him again because he lost his sash. That's why I'm like,
because that's not the way that the original story.
Well, no, they took their
whatever.
liberties. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be.
Well, that was offensive to me as a fan of Arthurian legend. Like, just growing up loving Arthurian legend as much as I did, I was just
but
like,
it changes so many times.
Yeah, it does.
Every version of that story is
I mean, but not. They didn't change this dramatically. It'll change from like, oh, he brought back a boar, or he brought back a fox, or he brought back, because I mean that's the thing.
Yeah.
And in most adaptations, it was a boar that he brought back on the third day, but in some, it was a fox that he brought back on the third day. And this one, they kind of stick to the whole fox thing. They're like, you know what? We can make foxes be around the whole time. And then you know what?
It's because they've been playing Breath of the Wild and
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
I'm like, pet that fox.
Pet the fox.
Pet the
To
fox,
follow
man.
the fox.
I'm just waiting for him. He never pet the fox.
Come
All
on.
right, that
Come
made
on,
me
you gotta
mad.
pet the
I'm like,
fox.
pet the fox, bro. All right, brother. And so, man. But I mean,
I guess I can understand that as far as like you growing up, because I didn't grow up really marinating. I hadn't even heard this legend until Philip was telling me about it last night.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'd never I'd known it. Obviously, I think the majority. It's like, okay, Sword in the Stone.
Yes.
Monty Python, Holy Grail. I think that's as far as my Arthurian.
Usual suspects, right?
Yeah, usual suspects kind of thing. So I mean, I don't know, man. Again, I think that's just a different way of looking at it. I still think this is a really good. I think it's a good movie overall.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think it's visually interesting. I mean, every frame of painting, essentially.
Yeah.
The one part that I really, really liked is when we were getting up to this, the lady in the house, the ghost, the shade. Yeah. And I thought that whole sequence was really, really
Especially when you try to touch her, and she's like, don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
You should know better than that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
And she goes like, get my head in the lake. And he's like, well, what will you give me in return? She's like, why would you ask me that?
Exactly. She's just,
like, do they make him look like such a douchebag?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because
why would you ask me that?
He is in this version.
Right? Yeah. Right. He's a total tool.
A piece of shit.
He's a complete tool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For real, busting nuts on sashes, bro.
You are not a knight.
You are not a knight.
She looked right at him. You
and
are
I'm
not
like,
a
and
knight.
why did you have to write that into the story? Like, they're like, we gotta have some shock factor.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, that's what this whole movie is to me, though. Is it takes the Arthurian story as a very loose baseline and then goes, well, fuck all that.
Right.
You know? But it's still told in the Arthurian fashion. That's
you
the
didn't
thing.
have to have a hand with nut and a sash.
That was a
big
big ass load all over the place. Load all.
You ain't never nutted before.
Damn.
Well, you know, he has been on a long journey. He hasn't been able
It
to
wasn't
visit
that
the
long.
He hasn't been able to visit the whorehouse. You know, he's been building it up.
Did they have to give you a close up? I was just like,
yeah.
bruh.
And then he put that sash on. You know he didn't wash it.
No, you know.
He just put that
Nope.
nutty sash on.
You know. Oh man.
No, I really like the way that they frame the 4-part story, though. Like, just as far as so other than plot, because I understand, like, there's the differences between the original one, and this definitely can be contentious in that, right? But as far as the presentation of the story, right? So not so much the story itself, but the way that it's this 4-act structure.
Right.
It feels like it's 4 30-minute chunks. That kind of gives you. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
You could even watch this story broken up into 4 parts.
You could.
And it wouldn't really have a continuity problem.
Not really. Yeah.
I like it that it pretty much tells you straight up, like, intro, beginning of the journey, interlude, and then the ending, right?
I love that you have an interlude.
And I like it. I like it that the ending tricks you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it leaves itself very ambiguous,
right?
Yeah.
Because after he goes to the hunter's place and has his nut off and everything, and then puts sash 2 on, right?
Right. That's why he got the second sash.
He needed the sash.
he needed the clean one.
Right. Then he goes to face the Green Knight, which
it sits there for like what, a day?
For like a day, just staring at him, man. You know. And
Yeah,
I was
think
really
that was the
thinking.
best scene in the movie when the Green Knight starts opening his eyes slowly.
Well, for a
Just
minute
looks
there,
at him.
it looked like his face was changing, like into more human of a face in the middle of the night, and then it would like come back and forth, and it was a really subtle thing, but it was weird.
Yeah.
And you know, when I initially saw the stuff for this, I figured they were going to change it drastically, actually. I mean,
to make it pad out like a 2.5 hour long movie or 2 hour and 14 minutes long.
Yeah,
that's a short story. Like the Green Knight is a very short story.
It's super short.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So to make it into a full movie, I mean, they got to add a whole bunch of liberties, right? Because I mean, like the whole ghost situation and all that shit didn't happen.
Him getting robbed and.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I also don't feel like either of those are bad, and I don't feel like they detract from the main story. It just shows how much of a bitch he is.
I feel like they really should have probably explained more when it came to the 3 people who robbed him. Because they just kind of disappear and they never exist again.
Yeah, they're just kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah,
but
he takes
at
his
the same
horse
time,
and the
that's
axe and runs off.
Well, if you think
and then
about
he
it,
finds his axe and gets his horse again.
Again, if you think of it in the sense of not the whole like, oh, it's so convenient that I found my axe and my horse again, but if you're getting robbed back in those days, you're probably not gonna know. There's not gonna be a backstory for the people that are mugging you.
Well, they're also not gonna leave your sword.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left his sword. Like that whole situation was just strange.
It was weird.
Right?
It was shoehorned in, man.
But I don't know that it feels shoehorned. It just feels surreal to me.
Right.
You know,
this
that's
whole movie kind of feels surreal.
I think that's the thing is this story is a lot more surreal.
Maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe the actual story, this movie, The Green Knight, maybe it actually ended when he ate those mushrooms.
Right.
Maybe that's the thing. He ate the mushrooms, then hallucinated the rest of the shit.
It's very possible.
Right.
I mean, even the way that they present that, it seems like
it's possible from the time that he leaves, he's hallucinating the whole thing anyway. Because I mean, all of it's
fucking fake. All of it's in his head, right? It could be that.
It could be.
I mean, we don't even really know.
It could be a mixture of like fantasy and reality.
I mean, how does this story actually resolve, right? Because at the end, he realizes like he's there waiting to die. He flinches multiple times. The Green Knight calls him out for it, right? And then the last time he thinks he has his resolve,
And he's like, "Good job."
And he
let's get to cut.
Well,
but he runs away.
He doesn't say good job until he takes the sash.
But
off.
he runs away.
No, wait, are you talking about the faux ending or the actual?
I'm talking.
ending?
Well, I'm just series of events. He's flinching. Then he has his resolve for a moment, and then that's a hallucination. There again, is him him running off, and he goes through the entire
whole thing,
right, and it's him envisioning him continuing to be the coward that he's been his whole life, right? It's like, well, this is the eventuality of the thing that I've already, come to,
right.
And then after that, it flashes back to him on his knees. Without any of that shit happening.
He found his bravery.
And he pulls his sash off, and he's like, all right, do it, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't even see the Green Knight cut his head off. You just see him go.
Well, no, he does that, and then he crouches down, and he's like, well done. He's like, now let's get to hacking. And then it rolls credits.
But then nothing happens, right?
Well, then it rolls credits.
So
does
head roll?
It was a game.
Right?
Now we're going back to that original story where it was just a game. The Green Knight was just fucking around. But he's just like, just honor your obligations.
Right.
And we're good to go. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's how it ends, right? Is him actually finding that knight's resolve.
Right.
It's actually him being such a shitty person through the whole time, and it taking him getting to the point of his death, and then realizing that if he goes the coward's way out, if he does the thing the fox told him, goes back home, tells his tale, it'll also end poorly for him because it's a weigh on him the rest of his life.
Right.
And then he
was like, I even know for a fact that I'm gonna be a dick because I can't marry this whore, so I'm gonna have to take this baby away from her, and then I'm gonna marry this other chick. And I was like, whoa, man, like you really are. You're an asshole to the core,
man.
And you're aware of it.
He did a lot of introspection during the end.
He's like, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be king immediately. And it's like,
well, he was that was pretty much the case. Is Arthur was dying. The whole reason I like that with
he's the closest thing he has to an heir.
Right. Yeah. And I like the way that they presented that with him not being a knight, just because it gives an immediacy to the situation. It's like, look, dude, I'm about to die. You're not a knight yet. We have to make something happen so that you can be king, right? And so I like it because it gives the story a sense of urgency.
Right.
But again, he was an actual knight in the tale.
Right, in the tale. Well, in the tale, Arthur was going to handle the Green Knight himself.
Arthur was like, goes, "No, king,
he's like,
I
game
got
on."
you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Arthur's like, "Bet."
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And
in this one, Jesus is frail.
Oh, Jesus is frail. When he's holding Excalibur in both hands,
he can barely pick it up.
Yeah,
when he knights him at the end, and he's like,
yeah,
man.
It's like, okay, well, I mean, but they definitely do tell a tale that will stick with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I feel like it does have some like serious lasting effects. Like, a lot of that imagery was very, very powerful.
Dude, if we're just talking about imagery side of it, fuck
it's
me.
Wonderful.
It's funny that we talked about Tarsim and Immortals last week, because this has so much of that kind of thing going on. Everything's got good texture.
It's very similar.
Ooh, yeah. I love the scene when it's the witch's coven with Morgan doing the ceremony and writing the thing to give
blindfolded.
Yeah, blindfolded. The writing beautiful.
I'm like, I could be staring at it,
and I wouldn't be able to write.
Like, not at all.
Her lines were straight and shit. And I'm like, damn.
Looking at her G's, I'm like,
I just feel ashamed of my handwriting. And so they've got the witches' coven doing the summons, and then they have the Christmas feast at the same time, and the way that they're both laid out in this thing, and it's almost like the holy and the unholy, and the duality representation, and all this stuff. Like, that shit's so cool. Every piece of scenery is good. Every bit of the costume design, it's amazing.
The costuming is fucking great. I love his color. I love his yellow.
It's
like
the yellow robe. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
love it, dude.
Yeah, man.
It really makes him stand out in a lot of the bleaker landscapes. You know what I mean?
That makes me wonder if there's something about the yellow robe. Like, if it's like,
I'm almost positive that everything in this movie has some kind of
probably just to make him pop against all the other backdrops.
I mean, it might be that, but I'm sure there's something.
I'm thinking of the King in Yellow thing. Like, the the first season of True Detective, how they talk about that book, The King in Yellow and everything. That entire thing is about deception and madness.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that might be part of the thing him having.
Maybe it's because he's a fucking coward.
Because he's a fucking coward, exactly, and he's in his own delusional world. He's yellow because he's goddamn yellow.
Right.
You yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what this whole movie is about, is his cowardice. And the Green Knight, in a weird way, like represents, number one, that you can't beat nature. You can't fuck with nature. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you do.
That was also an interesting choice to make him like a dryad.
I thought he's always been that.
No, man, he was like I said, he was the lord from the previous house.
But he appeared as this dryad.
Well, that was Morgan's magic, making him appear to be
the Green Man,
giant Green Man,
right? Yeah.
None of that was actually real, but this was very real. Like that was what he was. Yeah. You know, and even when he's sitting on that throne, because that's also not how the original story went. Like, he didn't sit there for a day watching him like on this throne that he was almost a part of. When he was sitting there, he looked like he was just a giant like fucking plant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hang out with Treebeard all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and so you know, it's very, I don't know. I also wish that they had really kind of explained or done more to tell the audience what's going on, because I try to remove myself from, you know, thinking about this movie, because once again, I've done too much research on like Arthurian legend. But for those people who don't know, I feel like they would have nothing but a lot of questions, you know? I feel like... By the end of the movie, it's just like, okay, so...
Well, because like I was saying, happened? I don't really have a lot of background as far as...
But you're a nerd.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so I mean, I accept it anyway. Like, my mind just immediately accepts, there's a tree man, and he's going to cut off this dude's head. Got it.
Good.
Like, good. I don't know, man. I felt like the point-to-point plot was pretty straightforward. I think it's really just in more of the surrealism of the movie that you're not going to get. And
or the world itself doesn't have a lot of context, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
right. By the end of the movie, it's just like, okay, so what happened? Did he get decapitated or not? Because they don't once again, they don't follow through with that.
But again,
he just sits there, and then the last thing he says is, "Let's get to hacking," which is weird.
I don't
like
think
to think
it
that
matters.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think it matters whether or not he actually cut the head off.
Without having resolution?
Well, I mean, it's not even that you don't have resolution, because you have the resolution for what the story was actually going for, which was Gawain finding his bravery, finding his knighthood. You know?
Because he did that in the last moment. It's like there's his redeemable spot. It kind of doesn't matter.
That's where the story.
What happens after it?
That's what the story.
I like to think he didn't get his head cut off, and then he gets to go back home and then tell him about the whole thing,
because
and be like,
think about
I took my protective sash off and everything, dude. Like, I did it.
I mean, that's
the thing. It
ambiguous.
requires imagination in order to complete the story within your own mind. Right?
Absolutely. Well, that's ambiguous endings, anyways. Like, think about Inception.
Right.
Was he asleep at the end?
Well,
did he actually go home?
But I think
does it matter?
Children of Men, did he die on that boat?
Well, once again, I think when you approach movies like those, then you're already expecting to do some cerebral gymnastics, right?
True.
When you approach a movie called The Green Knight, you may or may not expect to have to think your way through that one. It's like, okay, well, you know,
is that a bad thing though?
Not necessarily. I just wonder. Like, I haven't really looked at a lot of the reception, a lot of reviews.
Seems to be fine.
I'm very interested in just hearing other takes.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm very interested, because it just seems like it could be kind of confusing for some. Like, what the fuck just happened?
I still think as a fantasy piece, though, it's kind of the piece of film that we needed. Like, because there's not this kind of fantasy, like, basically just doesn't exist. You know?
Not a whole lot.
I mean, what do we get with this tone that is fantasy? What do we get? We get Game of Thrones. No, Merlin was silly.
I'm about to say, I wouldn't
Merlin
even
was
say
fucking silly.
that Game of Thrones has the same tone, honestly.
It's dark fantasy. That's what I'm getting at, is dark fantasy as a genre for film. What do we get? What do we fucking get? Nothing.
From, like, especially as far as Arthurian legend.
Nothing, man. We get nothing. You know, and this is a new take on something that we don't get. We don't get, man.
It is very unique.
Yeah.
It is very unique.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it overall. I would suggest it to really anybody.
Yeah. I think it was good.
You know.
So what?
Because even if you don't understand what's going on point to point, these visuals are so goddamn good.
Now
and you will never
it's,
see anything.
Nice
you will probably never see something like this ever again.
Dude, yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think it's that. Yeah, I think.
looking.
I mean, really,
I think it's incredibly unique.
These praises are a little high.
Dude, no.
I mean, I think it's a cool movie. I'm not saying that you're.
The cinematography
not
is
that.
stellar.
It is. But to say we're never going to see anything like it again, I think that's. I think this is I think it's an attainable line to meet this movie aesthetically.
He might not be saying that it's impossible.
No.
Right.
But just that no one's going to fund another thing like this. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I wonder how people received it. Because if it was well received, then maybe we will get more stories like this.
We don't
could be kind of cool.
We don't get art house fantasy.
Really
guys. We don't get art house.
Well, and
fantasy.
that's what I'm talking about. Is this is a very unique vision from a very unique director.
What's the other?
That's ultimately what I was talking about.
Story?
Yeah, Ghost Story. I want to watch that one.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just like that's what I'm saying. You will probably never see something like this again unless this specific person does it. Because again, it's like I don't think you could have this movie if you didn't have that director.
Huh. Totally, it is. It's familiar. It reminds me of something. I don't know what it is, and we'll have to talk about it.
The
later.
Holy Grail. Monty Python.
I mean, honestly, it is like Bradley Bowles for Robin.
So alternately,
totally
right. What other Arthur stories do you feel like lived up to Arthurian legend? Because I mean, I always pointed Excalibur. Excalibur's like my favorite, right?
Excalibur's great. That's good shit.
But Excalibur's so matter of fact,
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe that's what you expect from Arthur stories in general. It's very to the point, very matter of fact, very,
I think we could have a lot of fun.
Camelot, yeah.
Camelot.
Camelot.
I think we could have a lot of fun with Arthurian legend, but people have kind of shied away from it. In more recent days, but I do see it, come with the Green fucking Knight, man. I never expected that. That took me by surprise when I first saw the trailer. I'm like, that's the story that we're gonna tell. We got so much going on over here with Galahad, and First Night was really good.
First Night's cool.
First Night was really,
and it has
really
a vision in it.
Yeah. And
wait, no, that's A Knight's Tale. Never mind, that's A Knight's Tale.
First Night, no, that had God, what was his name? I keep thinking about hamsters in a tube.
It had
hamsters in a tube.
Richard Gere.
Oh yeah, Richard Gere.
Gere.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Right. It's like, and now nobody ever talks about it.
And Sean Connery, right?
Connery was Arthur.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the king.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right. It's good to be the king.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like that
Apparently.
that was a really good story. First Night was a great tale.
But again, that's one that's taken so matter of fact, right?
I think they took some liberties with that one. Yeah.
Or what's the one with Clive Owen?
Clive Owen.
Yeah, there's an Arthur tale with Clive Owen.
It's just called King Arthur.
It is?
Was that King Arthur?
That's the one that's very Celtic inspired.
Well, that's the one that's very that goes through this theory of King Arthur actually being a Roman. From there.
Yeah.
And like
because he's a Praetorian, and then he goes off.
And Merlin being a like kind of native English druid and stuff
like
that. It tries to be a little bit
more
historic, like with Natalie Portman in it. Isn't it Natalie Portman? Or is
no, that's man, what's her name? Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley. Yeah, she's Guinevere. And
is she Guinevere?
Yeah.
Wow, I guess I didn't realize that.
She's Guinevere,
she's
and
Pix
then
is what she is.
Yeah. Lancelot fights with two swords.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that one. I mean, it's dumb, but
I like the Guy Ritchie one, man.
Guy Ritchie one?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? The Legend of the Sword or whatever it is? Dude, the Guy Ritchie one's fucking awesome. It's a fun movie. Yeah.
Lads in Fantasy?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like...
Look at these medieval gangsters.
Except for Excalibur, I feel like every one of these movies that we mentioned has taken great liberties with the story, right?
Yeah.
You know? And it's kind of hard to not take those great liberties. Like even you mentioning Merlin as the show. Merlin takes some liberties, right?
Yeah.
You know?
So so the Guy Ritchie film is King Arthur Legend of the Sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have that one if you want to borrow it. It's good.
Cool.
It gets all crazy and doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And isn't Jude Law the bad guy?
I think.
Yeah, he's a good bad guy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to watch it. Like,
so Oh no, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if we had anything else to add for Green Knight.
No, not really.
Not
I'm
really.
just talking circles about it. It was a good movie. I'm not as convinced as you two.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Would I want to go back and watch it again? Probably not.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, the first time's good enough. I mean, I remember it all so well, and then once again, just being a fan of that lore. It's just
see,
like,
it
here's
sounds
this imagery to go with
Yeah.
the imagery of I've already created in my head and I've had for years and years and years. So I'm pretty much good on that. And then I just don't know if I want to see the skeet sash. Yeah, it's not really.
Yeah.
It was an awkward.
That was a lot of skeet, bro.
That was
Okay,
have
so
to do this.
let's end it on Skeet Sash. Next
Sash.
topic.
That's Trae's take. Skeet sash.
Skeet sash, absolutely.
Skeet sash.
If y'all like skeet sashes, hey man,
Right.
definitely check out The Green Knight.
Hell yeah.
No, it's a good movie.
Now let's talk
Give it a
about
7.
some multiplayer games for a while.
Man.
Is
Man, we've
it specifically multiplayer games or multiplayer in games?
Man, I don't. What do you
What?
mean?
No, because there are games that are strictly
Right.
multiplayer
Okay. So
games.
what he's saying is things like It Takes Two, which can only function with 2 players,
Right.
versus a game that can be played single player like Contra, but you
Yeah.
can play with.
But you
another
can play
person.
multi, or there is a multiplayer like function,
Right.
like say a Halo.
It's funny
like,
that
it
you
has
say
a
that.
campaign, but it also has the multiplayer. Hey, bang bang, let's shoot each other.
Right.
So I've been thinking a lot about this multiplayer thing, and realized that I actually don't like most multiplayer.
You don't. You
games.
play single player.
I
games.
typically don't.
Usually,
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that you have actually spoken and adamantly said.
Yeah.
That I like single player games.
Yeah.
That's, so it was very interesting that we were gonna challenge this topic, unless we're talking about like fighting games and things of that
Right.
caliber.
Yeah.
But that's usually the extent of your.
Yeah, that's about it.
willingness to,
Yeah.
And the more that I
explore
thought about
multiplayer.
it, the more I realized like I don't even know if I have a great perspective on this topic because of that. You know,
Right.
because I really am limited with what I like. I mean, every time that me and you have tried to play multiplayer games other than fighters, I kind of get bored
You
with
do.
them pretty quick.
Yeah.
You get bored
You
or
know?
frustrated really fast.
Yeah.
And it's like, and for me, it's a different thing because like I'm constantly on the prowl for multiplayer games.
Yeah.
There's things I can, play with my other half. And I just like watching people interpret media. I
Right,
like the way that I like to see how people will interact with, while I might be like, okay, I see things super mechanically. So it's like, okay, here's how you get from point A to point C. All right, I'll just see it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will come up with some weird shit, just to work around it because they don't see
Right.
such a direct path, and I find that just like thrilling,
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
when it comes to those titles like It Takes Two, I love that stuff. Things like Moving Out.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I love it. So it is a little bit different. You asking that question, like, what do we mean by multiplayer games, is a very
Yeah.
important question to answer.
Yeah, absolutely,
for
because
the
it
sake of
can
this
be something
conversation.
very different. Because I think I am kind of more on Phil's side. I tend to play more single player experiences because when I don't want to say that I don't have a lot of time to play games, but it's not really my first hobby.
Right.
You know what I mean? Most of
Yeah.
the time when I get off work, I go home, I'm throwing on some fucking anime.
Right.
Or a movie or a show that I'm watching. I'm way more of a film and animation buff than I am a gamer. But I do enjoy games, but when I enjoy what I enjoy about games is like, okay, is there a good story? Are there good characters? Or even if I'm playing a very basic game, I just want some kind of repetitive mechanic that's fun to do. I'm not really thinking about playing with other people, and I know that wasn't the case in the past. Like, I remember growing up, and it would be me and my brother, and me and my friends. And I think when I'm thinking of multiplayer, I'm not really thinking of like online, go and get like an MMO or something like that, like Final Fantasy 15. I'm not really thinking about that. I'm thinking more couch co-op most of the time.
Yeah.
Because I think the only multiplayer game that I currently play that I would consider a multiplayer game, and one that I play online pretty regularly, is Mario Kart 8. I'll jump on there and race somebody from Germany or Japan or something. Like that's fun for me.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I'll play that with
but that game again, just getting on the single player courses is fun for me. That game's just fun anyway.
Yes, it is. There's tons to unlock.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think I tend, when I do think of multiplayer, I tend to think more couch co-op, because I want that person next to me. I don't want to have to talk through a chat feature or anything. I don't know. I want to see you. I want to have
I'll agree with you on that. I find communication to always be cumbersome in multiplayer games.
See, but that's the point though, right? It's like,
to be cumbersome.
Well, no, but to cross that wall of communication being cumbersome. It's kind of like the game Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Right.
I still haven't gotten anybody to play that with me.
I mean, well,
I printed
you
out
probably
a manual.
get frustrated as fuck. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. But I'll play with you anytime. I'll do it because it is a very fun game.
Yeah.
It's really better as a party game.
Yeah.
To be honest with
Yeah.
you. If you have one person who's disarming the bomb and 3 people working together to figure out how to communicate this idea to someone who can't see what they can see.
Yeah.
That's a lot
party
of fun.
games are great to me.
See, that's how I feel about it too. Like things like
games,
Werewolves Within.
Yeah.
I think that's thrilling just to play with all these other people and play a game of who's telling the truth and who's lying.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about couch co-op. I feel like we're now getting back to a point where couch co-op is kind of on the menu again.
Well,
for a while,
absolutely. For a while,
Turtles.
You couldn't do anything but be online,
right?
Yeah.
Well, it takes 2. If we're talking about multiplayer,
Yeah.
for anybody who's interested in sitting with the person that they love, or their kid, or your friend, whomever, play It Takes 2. That is the best co-op game that I've ever played in my life. It is so just fully fleshed out and so creative, the entire ride through it. And sometimes you'll just encounter, I think there's 40 or 50 little mini games. They have chess fully fleshed out in there if you want to play that. They have all sorts of more Twitch style, reflex driven mini games for you to play if you prefer those. Or sometimes it's just a matter of just getting on a snowboard and snowboarding around an environment.
Right,
exactly. They have a lot of tributes to Street Fighter in there. And a lot of tributes to, I'm serious, man. And it's a gamer's game. It's a game for gamers, and it's a love letter.
And I would say, I bet you would say that the co-op function or the multiplayer function itself is something that really adds to your enjoyment of that game.
No, it's required.
I know it's required, but that's what I'm saying is there are some games where the obviously more single player focused games, but also have multiplayer that isn't required, and yet I feel like Diablo 3 when we were running through that was
fun.
The first time I really enjoyed that game. I've tried to go back to that game single player.
Way better.
Yeah, I've tried to go back to it single player multiple times after that experience. It's no, this isn't the same.
Yeah. Yeah, well, It Takes 2 is different in the regard that, what they'll do is, there are 2 characters. They are husband and wife in real life. They have a little daughter. But they're fighting, and they're about to get a divorce because they can't stand one another, right? And the daughter's just is this my fault? I don't know what's going on with mom and dad. I just want you guys to learn to be friends again. And so they go and take a nap and end up being accosted by the Book of Love, right? He comes out just hey!
That book is awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing, dude. He comes out of nowhere, and he's like, you got to work on your relationship.
Yeah, dude.
And so he's just all right, and he takes
Is it George Lopez?
It sounds very much like him.
George Lopez.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude. And so the whole time, your daughter's walking around the house, and y'all are passed the fuck out, but y'all are going through adventures, and you're basically very small. You're 2 dolls that she's made.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out how to get,
is that
how to
what's
get
up
to your
with
daughter.
that?
Yeah, that's the thing. She made those little things, and she made them with her dad because he was at home all the time with her, spending time with her, while mom was at work all the time. But mom would come home from work frustrated as fuck because she's been working, and of course, when you're working all the time, the people at home haven't been doing anything all day, and it's we've been waiting for you. So, so there's this whole tale there of a child estranged, a strain on a relationship. There's all of that. But what they'll do is they'll give like one of you a certain power, like May, the wife. She'll have the power of her voice, right? Because she was a singer, but she stopped singing because she has her career, so she doesn't express herself or put herself into anything. Her husband, they'll give him like cymbals, and so because he just wants to back her up, right? So you're the drummer, man, and you can also Captain America loved that motherfucker and shit like that. And then they have puzzles built around those items that you get, and they mix those up like probably like 8 or 9 times.
I mean,
it's
it almost
really
sounds
incredible.
like a multiplayer. More varied Lost Vikings.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
absolutely,
well, you have
in
to
a way.
use the strengths of the individual to figure out the puzzle.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was that other?
I still think that'd be a good Fantastic Four game.
It would.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No question.
Dude, a co-op Fantastic Four game?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Mm-hmm. That would be super tight. But I mean, I do think that because like who else did it? Darksiders.
Talking about Genesis.
Genesis
Genesis kind of sucks.
And so, well, just people trying for couch co-op.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider also had what was the name of that Tomb Raider? I wish Kayla
I don't
was in the
remember.
chat.
It was the
She would know.
isometric Tomb Raider. Yeah, it
so
was
they,
cool.
They went for couch co-op.
Yeah.
Outside of that, you really just get kind of quirky things. Honestly,
Yeah, for real. Well, I mean, you
Like,
get Nintendo has, especially with like their party games and stuff like that, have always kind of focused on the couch co-op.
Well, Nintendo, they've always done that. Even with
Yeah.
Super Mario 3D World,
absolutely,
same
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
4 players run around together and
and it works pretty well.
Sackboy did the same
Sackboy
thing.
did the same thing.
Yeah,
I'll tell
Sackboy's
you,
killing it.
one of my favorite party games to do, and it's on the Switch, is that 1-2 Switch.
Oh,
that
yeah,
shit
that's really
is
good.
1-2 Switch is cool.
Fucking hilarious.
It's really good.
Yeah,
They
dude.
need more game types. I wish they would have kept expanding 1-2 Switch.
Yeah, I wish they would have had like some kind of DLC or something like that where they
because
added
if they were still supporting 1-2 Switch today, I think
it'd
that
be
people
cool.
would still play it.
It'd be absolutely
you know?
great. Well, I mean, anytime I get together with like my sister and my nieces and nephews,
Guess how many balls are in the controller?
Yeah, most of the time. We guess
I
balls.
love that game. That's
yeah,
amazing.
I love that. Dude, I love the sandwich eating.
Yeah.
jeez, that's such a
It's too fun, man.
It's too good.
It's so fun. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, dude, that's really fun. Trying to think of any other like just couch co-op games that I'm like, because
See, I always think of arcade games. That's the
Yeah,
thing. For
I
me,
gotcha.
if I really want to play a multiplayer game, it's me sitting next to somebody with
Turtles Arcade.
Well, any of those.
Any of those.
I mean, I'll play
Simpsons.
Yeah, I'll play Darius with you two
Any
player.
of the
I don't care.
Any of the beat 'em ups.
Beat 'em ups, shooters,
Castle
fighters.
Castle
There you go.
Crashers.
That's more arcadey. Yeah.
Crashers.
Something like that. Yeah.
Because usually that's what you get when it comes to couch co-op. It's like, here's something that's easy and mashy, and you guys can just kill the enemies
Jam on
and
stuff.
go that way.
Absolutely.
And so that's really fun. But that's what makes like moving out and makes like what's the other game that they did? Cooking game, Overcooked.
Oh,
Overcooked.
hey,
Yeah.
that's gonna
I
be
have
PlayStation
actually-
Plus for
I was about to
PS5.
say,
right?
I have actually wanted to try that, but I don't.
Overcooked?
Yeah.
Oh, Overcooked is amazing.
Yeah.
But I mean, but once again, these games. See, that's the thing about like these multiplayer titles, because they're co-optional. And they are a great way to destroy a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a phenomenal way. It's like, just like, God damn it, motherfucker, chop the onions.
Yeah.
Like, why haven't you chopped them yet? It's like, I'm sorry, I was gonna get to it. It's like, what? Chop them. We're running out of time.
Stop yelling
like
at
for
me.
real. Because I mean, that's the thing, man. Especially if you worked in a restaurant before, it's just like, God damn it,
Jeez.
I don't know if I want to do this when I get home.
Yeah.
Like it is. It's stressful. But I mean, it is really, really fun to do, to get like 4 people together. And I mean, I own all the Overcooked stuff.
Oh,
if y'all
hell
ever
yeah.
want to play that, like, let's
hell yeah.
go. It's a good time.
I'm
but
definitely
it's-
going to try this new one.
Yeah?
So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's going to
Let's
be.
What
go.
was that?
'Cause
What was
it's
that
everything.
One party.
Yeah.
What was that one party game that we played when we were over at your place?
You
It
talking
was
about
Baby
Imagine
Life?
Party Baby.
Imagine Party Baby.
Imagine Party
That's
Babies.
way too good. It's way too
it's so
fucking
good.
man.
There is no
Yeah.
reason for that game to be
Dude,
as good as it
that's like,
actually
guys,
is.
you got to play this arcade game called Magical Date.
Magical Dates.
Yeah.
It's way too good. It's a lot like Imagine Party Baby, to be honest. Like just random mini games, but there's like this loose story going on about a dating game.
It goes to show, like man. It's like anything is fun with friends. Like no matter what it is, man. Absolutely. It could be like the worst game in the world, but if you could play it with somebody, then I mean that really does kind of elevate it to another level. Yeah. At least then you can just roll on it together, just roast it together. Yeah. You know, that goes a long way. And so. But as far as like co-op, like driven games, it's like okay, kind of like there's that game A Way Out.
A Way Out, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you can't,
that's a good one.
Yeah, it's like you can't play that by yourself.
What's the one? Army of Two. You remember that game?
Army of Two. Yeah.
That was a fun game to play through.
And it wasn't a good game.
No, but it was fun to play with a friend.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
right.
I would have rather been playing Gears of War, which Gears of War to me is a perfect co-op game.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Gears of War
definitely.
is even better as a co-op game than Halo, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I think they built it with co-op
with two people in mind.
Yeah. Right. Exactly, because that's the whole point.
You
is
need
somebody covering. Right. Rip that door. I think it's a Jack.
I always liked Carmine.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Frag out.
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. Every time I think Gears of War, I think of Dom and Dom's wife. And I get sad as fuck.
Oh,
that
dude,
scene got me.
She's all aliened up.
That one really did. It took me by surprise. I was just like, oh shit, we actually found his wife.
That game's not serious most of the time.
Right.
It's wacky as fuck, and then all of a sudden they're just like, oh, your heart.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it got me. I was like, whoa,
come
bro.
on.
Yeah.
You know, and then Dom's just broken. And so, but no, I mean, Gears of War is definitely, you know, it was definitely made with multiplayer in mind. Whereas Halo is just like, okay, here's our thing. But you know what would be cool? 2 Master Chiefs. Yeah. You know, like, and so, you know.
Which you think one Master Chief
it doesn't make sense
cool.
all the way up until it, like, it's ODST and Reach. It doesn't make any fucking sense. You know what I mean? Like, at least if you're playing the Arbiter, then it's like, yeah, he's just another Sangheili, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. But 2 Master Chiefs, you're going, guys, what are you doing?
No, I mean, actually, there are lots of Spartans, just so you know.
No, all of them died. He's the only one.
John 117, okay, just so you know, which is a Bible verse, because we're completely
wow,
edgy.
they did that?
Yeah, dude.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Fuck, what the hell?
Yep, they did it.
They
Why
did
are
that.
they this way? Why?
Totally. Yeah, dude, made me so mad.
I don't know. I was really trying to figure out what like bugs me about Destiny, right? Because the looter shooter thing, you're right about that. I just don't dig the looter shooter thing. Right. I want my shooters to be standardized with their weapons, and that's really the biggest thing.
That's why you like Quake so much.
Well, Quake is Quake.
I mean, I like Unreal Tournament a bunch.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for Quake.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
like,
that's
okay,
different.
These guns do this.
I want these guns to do this. Same thing with like a Halo or anything like that. I want the gun to do consistent damage. I want to understand the way that particular weapon fires. Because in multiplayer, you kind of need that to actually have a real edge up. You know, if not, then it's just a numbers game. And there's always going to be somebody that put more time in it than you, so you're always going to get edged out with a numbers game.
I don't think that's true. I think you're right. Somebody's going to put more time in. Somebody's going to try to min max.
Well, it was like playing World of Warcraft and playing PvP. It was the kind of thing. It was like there's always somebody that's got more money than you that twinks out their character.
The difference is that you put maybe like an hour, 2 hours into the game, and you never got a good gun. You don't have one, and so once you finally
that kind of bothers me though.
Right,
like
right.
Why can't I not have a good gun immediately? You know, why can't I have something that fires? And that's exactly what bugs me.
It's a role-playing game, and so at the end of the day,
it's the looter side of it that bothers me, right?
You gotta play. Yeah, I don't even know if it's the looter side. I think it's the RPG side, because even through just playing quests, they're gonna give you badass weapons. Like you're just
eventually is what you're saying though.
Pretty quickly, actually, if you just do the shit. You know, you just have to do the shit though. You know, you don't just get to be like, okay, well, it's not like level based. If it were level based, then it makes more sense. It's like, okay, level 1, I've got the weaker guns. Stage 2, I've got some stronger guns and a rocket launcher. You know, stage 3, Destiny, with the looter aspect, you just never know at which rate you're gonna get these things, because you will get a grenade launcher early on. You will get a rocket launcher early on. You will get, you know, a sword. You know, things of that caliber, and at that point, it's like you don't even know a sword, but you never really know what your favorites are, and you can be like, okay, well, I like the Needler in Halo, so I'm looking for something like that, and it's like, well, if you're looking for something very specific, that might take some time. But you know, what got me into Destiny was the reason why I like Destiny so much was because I usually go for things like assault rifles, pulse rifles.
Yeah,
what got
absolutely.
me on Destiny was the pure power of a hand cannon. I was playing at a friend's house, and that's all he had. He had a hand cannon and something else. I was like, God, this loadout sucks. But then I started running with that hand cannon, and I'm just like, blah, just headshot,
boom,
headshot,
boom,
headshot.
boom,
And I was just like, this is kind of sick, because I would have never chosen to use this gun.
No.
And so after that, I was just like, okay, and I got it myself. And then I realized, like, every weapon is pretty much viable in its own way. Now, PvP is another story, and it's another world, because you're dealing at this point. You know what? We're 7 years into this game's life cycle, right?
Yeah.
So you're dealing with people who've been playing for so long,
Yeah.
and so to jump in with base weaponry, you're gonna get waxed.
Yeah.
But that's supposed to make you want to, go out there and get some exotics yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
But it can also just frustrate
it just detracted
and
me.
detract,
That's all
right?
it did.
Yeah.
And but the other side of it is like, I feel like I have like no context to the story.
Yeah, it's weird the way they're setting it up now.
And me jumping into it, it almost feels like it's like, this doesn't feel for me. It doesn't feel like it's really directed at me.
Your story hasn't even started yet.
It's
like, you're still going through tutorials.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing. All the stuff that we were playing, it was all just tutorials. They were just teaching you how to get around, navigate the solar system, and get from place to place. And so, even though I don't know how they're going to start the story, because
like
the
you said,
original
planets
tower
are
got
blown
destroyed.
up,
Some of the zones aren't there.
Yeah.
So I don't know how a new player is supposed to really get into Destiny, or what the new player experience is going to be like. That's why I was really excited for you to play, because I would get to also learn that at the same time.
Right.
Because this getting started was a bit of a hassle.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah, and that might be part of the reason I have a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth for it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
because that was bad.
It took a lot just for us to get...
it took you re-rolling a character.
Yeah.
You had to start over completely,
Yeah.
and then it started making sense. And so.
So I already started off on a bad foot with that, but it is making me wonder here about this RPG thing you're saying, like because I don't dislike RPGs,
right?
But there's a lot of RPG aspects in games that I feel like is just added stuff. It's not helping me like the game anymore.
Yeah, I think you like your shooters to be shooters, man.
I like my shooters to be shooters.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, the only shooters that even come out that I like are shit like Doom.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or I mean, zombies is fun.
Yeah.
I like zombies, but that's also,
pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Get a gun. Let's pop some heads.
That's
right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I think that once you start adding too much complexity to that, it's no longer fun for me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
But the multiplayer aspect of something like that will let me ignore it for a while. Because
I wonder
I'm
how you'll
hanging
feel
out with
about
somebody.
Halo then. You might actually like Infinite.
Yeah, I probably will like Infinite. Yeah, like I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm the only one out of us that cares about Halo.
I'll play it, but I just know Destiny is probably a better experience.
I'll watch somebody stream it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I'll
Because
watch
you know how Halo feels to play.
Yeah, and
and
I just haven't given a shit about Halo since Halo 2.
Right.
Like literally, I just am not in that sphere of interest.
Well,
right
I think
now,
it is. I think with Halo, it's all just really brand loyalty at this point.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and if there's if you get Halo or somebody gets Halo, and it's like, hey, come over, let's do some. Let's do some multiplayer, and you
Not at launch.
Yeah, not at launch.
Damn.
Eventually.
Damn.
I'd be down with. I'm just saying.
They fucked that one.
Yeah. Well, never mind then.
That's right. That's right.
He's over there looking for that silver lining, and like, I think I found it. He's like, nah,
no,
man.
They fucking slapped that right out of our hands.
That's
what
a
they did.
brown line.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that does.
That's a ski
that is
right there.
that is really rough. You'll still have the capability to play, multiplayer.
Like, yeah,
LAN
you
party
can
style or
Yeah, you
whatever.
can do that.
No co-op, but versus, and so
Versus,
that's
yeah.
always a good time with Halo.
Has the lead.
Yeah.
You get to hear that a bunch.
Right, I do miss that.
I don't know.
miss the Unreal tournaments.
That's
double kill, triple kill.
Dude.
Yeah,
Just run up to the very highest part, get you a sniper rifle, go to the highest point in the map, and just jump off and just.
Yep, that's it.
Headshot.
That shit
Headshot.
that was my jam.
Yeah.
I used to
I
play.
used to piss everybody in my class off doing that shit, 'cause that's where we played it, man. We just played it at school.
You gotta run that
I loved
pistol, man.
capture the flag in
Yeah.
Unreal Tournament. That was my favorite mode.
Yeah.
The
Playing-
capture the flag was really fun.
So that's some of my favorite multiplayer stuff. But I like looking back on it. I feel like anything that isn't a couch co-op game where somebody's just going like, "Hey, well, we should jump in this." Because in general, if you got a multiplayer game, we're hanging out. Why the fuck not?
Why the fuck
You know,
not?
unless
Yeah.
it's something I'm just completely like, nah, fuck that. I'm no good at it. Like, I mean, sometimes I feel that way around certain people with Smash, where I'm like, yeah, I'm not even gonna get in this.
Yeah.
Y'all
Well,
know.
fighters are the same
Yeah.
way
Fighters
because
are-
generally when
yeah.
somebody's like, "Hey, you want to play this fighting game?" Usually they're very good, or at least they're experienced with it.
With it,
And
yeah.
so, like, you know, there's always kind of this
'Cause they
disparity
probably
unless
play
you
it on their
practice as
own.
well.
Yeah.
Right, exactly, right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You know what I would consider a multiplayer game that's not a multiplayer game, which might be an interesting topic itself. 12 minutes. We actually sat there and played 12 minutes together. You know, because just thinking about like, okay, what if this? Try this. We were passing controller back and forth.
Yeah.
And that was actually a lot of fun. And it's just a single player.
I like puzzle games with a friend. I love puzzle
dude,
games with
right,
a friend.
you know,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just like trying to solve puzzles with someone else at your side.
Yeah,
and then
that's
also
cool.
the tone of the story gets everybody invested and everybody's
Yeah.
interested in what the fuck's happening here.
What is
Yeah.
happening?
You know,
Yeah.
And so it's just like, okay, well, I'm doing this, and then you figure something out. It's like, okay, well, you know what we've just figured out together, and then you go do that stuff, and then you figure out, oh, this light switch over here. You know what I'm saying? And so that is one of those weird things that we kind of turned into a multiplayer
Kind
game.
I
of
mean, playing a Silent Hill game with a friend is a
Yeah.
good one. You know, you guys are both sitting there like trying to figure out what's going on.
Right.
Especially if you have like a friend that gets a girlfriend, friend, whatever, that gets scared easily.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, absolutely.
You're like, well, you drive this thing, and I'll help when I can, but some of the time I'm gonna be looking away.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
I've been in situations where it's like, okay, well, how about this? We'll play like Resident Evil, whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, the combat's up to you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly,
we get
yeah.
to the point where we're about to have to
Speaking
fight
of
stuff.
Resident Evil, my niece and my brother-in-law, they just started playing the first Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah. The remake one?
The remake.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And my
beautiful.
niece was the map.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like
That's what's
she,
up.
yeah.
All right.
You know.
Yeah,
So
see,
that's a good way to
Like
do it.
she was
that's
the
way you
navigator,
get down when
and it was
you're-
great. Yeah.
When you're a kid and you don't
Yep.
want you don't want to pass the controller. Like,
Well,
all
I
right,
need
then,
some
well,
assist
I know,
on. That's
here
what
we
I
go.
need.
I got a job for you.
Yeah, that's right,
You
man.
know, like that's
Man, do
brilliant.
you
You see that
remember-
they were? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Do you remember in Wind Waker, you could plug a Game Boy Advance up as a second controller,
Yep.
and you could get the map, and you could be Tingle, so you could
Yeah.
like do Tingle stuff.
Yeah.
you know?
What a weird character. Fucking Tingle, man. Yeah, freaking Tingle. Just on the Resident Evil note, before we go too far, did you see
Yeah.
that they're actually doing another Resident Evil movie? It's going to be released at the end of this year, in November, actually.
Yeah, it's a reboot.
Like based on the Arklay Mansion. Yeah.
Might be okay.
We can get a berry in it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a
I
berry.
mean, yeah, I mean,
Are
well,
we
they
gonna
showed,
have a Jill
they
sandwich?
they showed Claire.
The
strangely
master
enough.
of
And I'm like,
unlocking.
Claire wasn't even there.
No.
Right? But they showed Claire, they showed Wesker, and they showed Chris.
Okay,
and
that's
so
a
it's
little
just
odd.
like very odd. Well, no, not super odd because Wesker was with them
What- yeah, but
initially.
Claire.
But Claire.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
what's
like,
the other
why
girl's
Claire?
name?
Jill.
No,
Jill.
no. The
Oh.
young girl that was part of
Oh,
Stars
so-
back then.
The one who died?
Did she die? She was the main or the second character in Resident Evil 0. Rebecca Chambers.
Rebecca Chambers.
That's right. Yeah.
Totally.
Because Rebecca's part of the initial Stars group,
Right.
You know? They were
Yeah.
actually there prior to them.
The Chris's team.
Chris's team. Yeah.
Because Chris's team was just
then
an
they're-
extraction team, essentially, right?
Well, they were supposed to come in and find out what happened to the previous
Yeah,
team.
right, yeah,
And then,
right.
yeah. This one also, they say, focuses heavily on, God, what's her name? Lisa Trevor.
Oh.
So, yeah. So they're putting a lot of focus on Lisa Trevor and telling that story, which is one of the
up.
darkest
Yeah,
stories
really.
in
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
Which
hands
wasn't
down.
in the original one.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
added that in the remake, and it was
And it's
such
like,
just
whoa.
a...
Yeah.
I have to keep an eye
If
out
you
for
don't
that.
know, ooh, go find out.
Yeah, that's rough stuff.
I wonder if they'll do like a into the Code
The
Veronica
wrap-up
thing.
voice. Yeah,
we
wrap
heard
it up box. I saw that. Yeah.
You better wrap that shit up.
Wrap
B.
that shit up. Be wrap that.
Well, do you
gavel
guys
up,
have
B.
anything else as far as like multiplayer? Any games? Any other insights as far as like
the only
just
thing
anything?
I'm gonna say is that like the more I thought about this, the more I feel like especially modern multiplayer really just isn't for me.
Yeah, the problem here is that I love multiplayer, and this would end up being a very one-sided conversation.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing.
That's true.
no,
That's true.
Yeah.
Because
you like what
because
you
it's
like.
not like we're like fuck you, Trae. You like playing
Yeah,
with people.
I can't believe you. I can't believe you have friends, Trae.
What's wrong with you?
I'd be like,
Yeah, because I'm kind of
I'm
blown
a popular
away.
man. You know? I'm in high demand. I don't know what you want from me. All right.
Because I'm kind of blown away by your interaction online sometimes. You know what I mean? Like you're a lot better at being like, oh, here's a random person. I'm now going to befriend you, and then we're going to continue to play this game together.
Yeah,
For
man.
me, it's like, thank you, Phantom in Dark Souls.
Right.
Never
Yeah.
see you again.
I loved it, man. Especially like with things like Ghost of Tsushima Legends.
Oh, yeah.
where
That was great.
You know, it can be hard to find. It can be very easy to jump in and have that exact experience, right? Where you don't create bonds with people, and
Right.
then you just jump in with randos. You do some shit, and it's like, oh,
Right.
God damn it! Why won't you go to the control point that we're all going to? Blah blah. But then next thing you know, you find somebody who's actually talking. And then you start strategizing. It happened with Star Wars Squadrons. I was playing multiplayer, and I was so used to playing with randos and nobody talking. So I was just kind of talking to myself. And next thing I know, one of the other guys started responding. And I was like, oh, shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then these other two guys joined up. They started talking, and we were out there flying, and we were losing, but we were laughing hysterically. We were just having a good time.
Yeah.
But then, next thing you know, we started actually calling out and pinging targets and strategizing. And we started rolling on teams, dude.
Hell yeah.
And it's like,
Nice.
oh, God, well, it
Yeah.
is called squadrons. That's the point, is that you're supposed to work as a team.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then, yeah, you can have like a B-wing bomber, you know, out there in plain view to draw out the TIE fighters while your A-wings come up behind those motherfuckers and pinch them in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can set up some stuff. So
Yeah.
that's one of those things that I just enjoy doing. If you can find people to do it with, there are way fewer people who actually want to take something seriously and strategize and actually, you know, chat while still having fun, of course.
Right.
Then there are trolls. There
Right,
are way
yeah.
more people who just have the volume on Telemundo all the way turned up.
yeah.
The kids in the background are just going ham. Either that or they just drop the N-bomb just because they learned the word.
Or
you know
they're
what I'm
just
saying? Like,
eating chips in the
oh,
mic.
they crunching on them chips, boy, and that bag is endless. I'm like, how big
They
is
have
the bag?
so
man?
many bags. it's multiple bags,
Right?
You
Uh-huh.
know,
You
it's
hear
not
done
just
with that
sprinkling.
one.
It's
Yeah.
like
Give me
in
my
Death Note.
Mazitos.
I'm gonna write the name and then I'll eat a chip.
Oh my God, dude.
Headshot and then chip.
He hit that chip hard too. Like he has never eaten chips this hard in his life.
No, not at all.
He's up to something. You know?
Well,
All right. That's a good place to roll
good
out.
place to roll.
That's a good place to
Thank you
roll out.
guys so much for joining
Thank you
us.
for
Thank
hanging
you
out.
guys for being in the chat.
Everybody.
Everything, you can check us out here every week on Saturday on Twitch for live recordings, and then you know,
Mom.
check out. Yeah,
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, hello. We didn't forget. Hello, Mom.
Hello, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Check us out on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, everywhere else you like to listen to podcasts. And guys, these are our Twitch handles essentially.
Yes.
Guys, are you
Thanks, Adam.
planning
Down
on?
below.
Are you guys planning on streaming anything throughout the week?
Yeah, I'm just getting set
It's
up to
just
stream
gonna
some
be-
Hades
it's
too.
just
I gotta
gonna
get
be
a mic
Hades.
on in
It's
there.
gonna be a lot of
but,
Hades.
Yeah.
I started streaming No Man's Sky. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time with that, just because it's kind of fun.
It's okay.
Yeah, but Horizon Zero Dawn probably go live with that.
Cool.
You know, just to check out the.
I'm gonna do some more
60
Hell
FPS.
Split because it's stupid.
Nice.
Can you
Dude, you
actually-
need to stream some Gorn.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
just
that would be
really,
fun.
hilarious.
Yeah. I might
It
as
just
well.
really sucks
yeah.
that you can't see the chat with PSVR. So I mean,
True.
if you guys do tune in and
Yeah.
I'm doing PSVR, I will look at the chat at my earliest convenience, but unfortunately, you just can't see the chat log while you're actually playing in VR.
Yep.
Which is a pain in the ass.
I found out that in the Steam overlay, you can set up a second window to where you always have access to like whatever you have open. So you can make a little icon for OBS. But I'd still have to go to the Steam menu and then find it and then open it up, and then it pops out of the game and shows you OBS. So it's
That's
like
ridiculous.
there's just no easy way to see chat in VR that I've figured out yet.
Right. It's like you can do it on your PS4.
There's got to be some kind of widget or something on the PC though, right?
Yeah,
there has to be.
It has to
right.
be.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, if you like what you see, go to Patreon.
Wrap that gavel
and give
up,
us
B.
some money. Thank you.
Please support your boys.
Support your boys.
We love you.
And
if
come
you have
back.
Loose change. And always come back, please.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Keep hanging out.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.